everybody. Welcome to the SL and Shiro Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Shiro, and with me are SL and one of our only special guest so far in the history of this podcast, Axolatol.
Hi! I'm back!
He's back and better than ever. Alright, so today, we are going to talk about a series that's very close to all our hearts.
The World Ends With You.
Yes!
The silly game series.
The very silly,
very silly
duology.
game.
Hold on, I'm getting a call. You two continue on.
So, the world ends with you. From playing the game, I have learned the world does indeed end with you.
It really does. It really truly does.
Alright, well, I was thinking we start by talking about our experience with the game. So, Axel, do you want to go first and talk about how you found the game, what your feelings about it, so on and so forth?
You know it. Alright.
I'm back. Anyway.
I was saying
Awesome.
we should talk about how each of us found the game, our experience with it. I was letting Axel go first.
Okay, well, I want to go last. So.
Okay, Axel, you go first then.
I'm going first. So, it all started, I first encountered The World Ends With You, technically I first encountered it, when I played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which is not a good first start to the series.
No.
But, you know, I didn't think much of it at the time. I didn't really know the characters, so that spoiler just went over my head, and I just, forgot about it. So that's good. However, when I first played it, was, I think, back in, eighth grade. 7th or 8th grade, back in, middle school, when I first played it. I played the final remix version on my Switch. One time I was, at my local game store getting a game, and I already knew which game I was going to get, and it wasn't TWEWY, but I saw it there, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. I kind of want to come back for that later. So then I did. Which was a good choice.
Very good choice.
Because it became my favorite game ever. Its message really resonated with me. I really vibed with its art style. I loved its gameplay. And then eventually, once Neo came out, I played Neo, and it's my favorite game in the series.
I guess that's it all?
That's kind of the extent, yeah.
Okay, so
That's all you go.
yeah, since Shiro wants to go last, I'll go next then. So, I like Axel. My first ever experience was through
I hope you like Axel.
is Dream Drop Distance.
Oh.
And but it wasn't solely that, because I had a friend who had played the DS version, and he kept telling me all the time, like, oh, dude, you gotta try this game, it's so amazing, you're really gonna like it. And then eventually I got the final remix version on Switch, and I was blown away by it. It's such a good game.
It's such a good game.
It really is. I loved the art style, the story, the gameplay, the soundtrack. Everything was like a 10 for me.
Yeah, it clicked for me so quickly.
Yeah, I played the first day, which is 10 to 20 minutes for anyone who hasn't played it, and I was hooked instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to sleep after that. But when I woke up the next morning, the first thing I did was boot up the game again.
I have that way of hooking you in immediately.
Yeah.
It's very good for an RPG.
Yeah, and then Neo came out, and I spent the last week of my, last month, I guess, of my summer vacation finishing that.
Banger game.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's all I really have to say on that.
Oh, so it's my turn. Alright, here we go. So, today, when I was the tender age of... Fuck, how old was I? I've always been addicted to YouTube.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
And there was this, I don't know if either of you two know this YouTube channel. called Jimmy Wetzler. That's what he's called now, but he was originally called Nintendo Fan for the Win, I think it was.
I've heard the name.
He made a video like years ago about like the World Ends with You, and that's how I discovered the series. And I'm like, oh, I have a DS, I'll get this game. And so I got the original DS game. My problem is, I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand. Oh, I gotta press the D-pad while moving the stylus. So, I quit after like the second day boss, and I'm like, I'll sell this in for a different game. Okay, hold on. I gotta go do this like, real quick. I'll be right back. Just you two talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my god.
So Shiro sucks as a gamer, huh?
Yeah, Shiro is a bad gamer. Bad gamer. This is a joke. We love you, Shiro.
Yeah, we love you, buddy.
We love you, buddy. The DS version, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
I've only ever seen gameplay of it. I've never actually
I want to play
played
the DS version so bad.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't have a DS.
I have a 3DS, but like even then, I still need a copy of the game.
Yeah. I mean, you could always emulate it.
I could always emulate it, but then I have to deal with emulation.
It's not like buying a copy is gonna pay the developers.
That's not what I meant. I meant like DS emulators don't have the best screens.
That's true, I guess.
That's more what I meant by that.
But yeah, the DS version, because I've seen gameplay of it too, and it does look very confusing, at least for me.
Yeah.
Having to like manage both the screens at once, but it seems super cool.
Yeah, I'm not the best multitasker.
Sorry, I'm back. I'm finally back.
Awesome. Okay.
So yeah, DS game. I only played it till like the second day. I didn't get it, and apparently I was very stupid back then. So I was like, I'll just sell this game back at GameStop, get something different.
That's treasure.
I know. I'm sorry. Hey, I made up for it. I played Solo Remix next.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a $1,000,000 pin, dog.
Okay. Anyway, so I played Solo Remix because I had an iPad. It was my dad's iPad, but I was the one on it all the time.
Solo Remix banger.
Yeah, so I liked it, but, I was like, this game's cool, but I don't really see what was all that special about it. Fast forward to Final Remix, I think iPad got outdated, so my dad just like sold it, so I didn't have it anymore.
God.
But I had a Nintendo Switch, so I'm like, oh, I'll just get Final Remix then, so I can just play this game again. And then I played that. And I know this. I was 15 when Final Remix came out.
Ooh, you knew the exact age.
The same age as like Neku and all the other main cast just made the message just resonate to me, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. Why am I crying so much?
Yeah, I was like that same age too. Like, I was like around
not.
15. It's like, oh, he's a moody teenager.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I was like watching Neku like, damn, he's such a fucking asshole to everybody. And then I kept playing. I'm like, I'm the asshole.
I am him.
It's like that fucking Joker moment. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so yes, and then Neo got announced, and I got super excited. To the point that I got it day one. Got the game day one.
I had to go to work that day, so I was like, I woke up like, I literally woke up at like 6 a.m. So I have enough time to like run to like run to a target and then buy the game and then have enough time to play a bit before I had to go to work.
I got the game digitally, so that way I would get it like moment one.
I got funny story. The day I got Neo 2 was also the day I got my PS5.
Right.
So it was the first game I actually played on my PS5.
Yeah, like I've mentioned this before, but the only reason I have a PS5 is because, well, among many things, I got a PS4 and then a month later the PS5 got announced. I'm like, you motherfucker. Okay, so to wrap up my little like TWEWY story, I did want to say this, is that, so I played non-stop. I played Neo to make sure I beat it because I didn't want to get spoiled by it, like on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
And after that, I decided, you know what? I want to see what the TWEWY fan base is all about. And so I started using my Twitter account, meaning that if it wasn't for Neo, I wouldn't be here.
Yep, you wouldn't have met, wouldn't have met me.
Exactly. But I do want to say, the day I bought Neo, I went there and I thought there would be a physical copy at the store. There wasn't.
Oh no.
Oh.
So I had to run back home and download it digitally.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Alright, so now that we got all our stories out the way,
Let's talk about the series.
yeah, let's talk about, do we want to talk about, like, how, because I think I remember once hearing that, like, definitely the gameplay was originally inspired by Chain of Memories.
Yeah, so I was about to say, let's talk about our favorite game, like you guys' favorite game in the series, Chain of Memories.
So put the gun down!
No.
Axel, don't kill me, please!
He's bringing a whole new meaning to the
Warning
water
shot.
gun.
Warning shot.
It goes all the way across the seas to hit Ireland.
I mean, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure TWEWY was originally going to be a rhythm game.
Yes, it was. It was gonna be,
like a
yeah, it was gonna originally be a
kind of
rhythm
thing?
game. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Well, I
Yeah,
know it was
what-
definitely gonna be a rhythm game. I just don't remember anything. I don't remember what it was called. Now that I think about it.
It might have still been
The
called
world
the
ends
same
with-
thing.
The world ends with the rhythm. I don't know.
It still might have been called the same thing. It's just like a story-based.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
rhythm game.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
And
You're right.
which explains why there's like the Reapers like have like names after like musical things like baritone Reapers and stuff, or like how like the noise are named after different music genres.
Literally have characters named Beat and Rhyme.
They could
That's
maybe they
also
would
true.
have been tutorial characters.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's
tutorial. That would have been interesting. I would like to see how they would have played out, but that's we didn't get.
Yeah, Square Enix, TWEWY rhythm game win. Come on, guys. You got no cool music.
I guess we've got some crossovers that have happened in the other rhythm games.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game was inspired by Chain of Memories.
Yes.
Yeah, Chain of
Well,
Memories.
well, that's how it started, but then it quickly became like its own thing. I think like
Yeah.
even got like the same developers like behind Chain of Memories to help with the original.
It's
I
yeah,
think they, like-
version.
yeah, the Kingdom Hearts team also makes TWEWY.
And like, have you
I
seen
feel like not just Square Enix, but I feel like they were like other developers on Chain of Memories. I think like one of them was like Hand Inc. or something.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Hand.
They were involved in Chain of Memories, so they were like, oh, let's just bring them on for this one.
Genius devs, banger game.
We also have the legend himself, Tetsuya Nomura, on. I think it was just character design, right?
He was
Or
the
anything else on the first game?
he was the creative producer for TWEWY one.
Uh,
I don't know about the second game, but he was creative producer on the first one.
thank God he wasn't director. Alright.
I think it was Kobayashi. I think it was Kobayashi on the second game. Like Gen Kobayashi, or he just did character design.
I think Nomura did character designs on the second game.
I know Nomura did character design for both games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Creative producer, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, creative producer.
Oh, okay.
I thought Gen Kobayashi was also the creative producer for the second game.
Okay, well, let's stop talking about the development of the first game and actually talk about the first game itself. So,
Yeah, let's get on to it.
Where do we start with this?
That's a great question.
I think we should start from the beginning. You wake up in the Shibuya Scramble.
No. How it actually starts is that you just see this redhead
right.
kid just walking around, just being a bitch to everybody, and then smash cut. He's on the ground, in the middle of the street, just and then he gets up, finds like a weird pen in his hand. He flips it, and then boom, he starts hearing people's brains.
The silly. He also has no clue how he got back.
Right.
No memories at all.
This is also back in the day where flip phones was a thing.
I remember
That's
having
right.
one.
I never had one.
And no, neither did I.
I know, I'm older than both of you. Stop rubbing it in.
That sounds old.
I'm only 22.
Let's see. So, yeah, and then Kermit the Frog and his best friends come and attack you.
Bad froggies.
Oh no!
No.
And then you run off to Hachiko. This is a very important plot point. Hachiko is very important.
Yeah, the Hachiko
And,
statue is very important.
God.
Funny dog.
He meets his
Dog.
he meets his first partner in the game, Shiki, and basically they just like get the ball rolling. Turns out they're in the Reaper's game, where dead people are just put into like a separate plane of existence for the departed, where it's like now you compete in order to decide who gets a second chance at life.
Yeah.
They're essentially ghosts.
Everyone has to have a partner.
Because Neku has complete amnesia.
Yes.
Yeah. No memories at all. Like head empty. Like
All he
head empty, no
remembers is
thoughts.
his name.
Yes. Eventually, I think then later on, after a bunch of things, they also learn that each character, every person who's a player in the Reaper's game has an entry ticket.
Right.
And if you give up that entry
we
ticket,
immediately figure out, maybe they don't say it like the characters, but you the player figure out, oh, an entry fee, that must be Neku's amnesia. His memories were the entry fee.
They do say they do say it actually. It's at the end of the first week because Neku didn't care about anything, so they had to take his memories because it's the only thing he really had.
Well, I know that, but before that, when like they mentioned an entry fee before, by
my bad.
I don't know, Beat or Rhyme might have mentioned it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know what you meant by that.
But actually, speaking of entry fees, so do you just want to go by the game week by week? Just discuss that.
I think we should.
yeah.
Okay, so with week 1, your partner is Shiki, and her whole character arc is just this 1 week, because after this, Kisaniji, Mr. Shades, is just like, ha, your girlfriend's out, and then just zaps her away.
Your entry ticket.
Yeah, your girlfriend's now your entry fee, so if you die, so does she. Haha, I'm so good at this game.
Speaking of entry tickets, I feel like we should touch upon Shiki's as well.
Yeah.
Right, I was getting around to that. So,
Oh, my bad.
Her whole character development is that her entry fee was actually her appearance. The way she looks when you meet her is not actually her physically. Her physical appearance in the Reaper's game is actually her friend Eri.
Yep, and it's a big character arc of self-identity and finding yourself and who you really are, and it was really sweet and it made me cry at the near the end, especially on that one specific day, that one day in week 1.
Yeah.
You know the one.
I know the one.
When you have to hand out the red pins.
Yeah.
That
Jesus.
that day hurt me so
You
much.
actually see
Same.
Eri, who's dressed the exact same way, which, I mean, at least the anime did gave her a different look. I remember, right?
I actually
Yeah, I
didn't see
think
the anime.
the anime did
They
change
get
it.
put her in a school uniform, right?
Oh, okay.
That's what they did.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, the point is that Neku finds out on this day that, Shiki is not actually how she actually looks, but, it's an important day for not only Shiki but also Neku, because this is when he's just like, fuck what other people think, you're cool.
Yeah.
First step to
you're
character
awesome.
development, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Week 1 is very important for his development as he
Right.
he
Like the
he
starting
becomes
point.
less of an asshole.
Right. Which is very much important, like, what comes next.
Yeah, we also meet
Yeah,
a lot of other.
open up to like having people around and working with others for like week 2 to work.
Yeah, we also meet a lot of other important characters in week 1, such as Saine Hanakoma, otherwise known as Mr. H.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Characters like Higashizawa, who's the
Good
main
man.
actor for the first week. My man. We meet a bunch of the other Reapers like
Meet, 777.
Yeah, 777, my man. Minor character, but we love him all the same.
Let's see.
Beat and Rhyme, how
Beat
could I
and Rhyme,
forget
I was
the
about to
best
say.
sibling duo.
Yes. We'll get to B when we like get to week 3, since that's when he becomes like the most important.
I believe on day 3 was it, right?
Oh, it's day
Is when it
4.
happens. Day 4. On day 4.
Beat and Rhyme decided to like save your asses from the giant bat. I remember that.
That was
Yeah.
day 3.
Yeah.
Day
so-
4 is when they basically like, go to Tower Records. There's no time limit. Just get over there. And then Shark comes out and eats Rhyme.
Yeah, kills Rhyme, which is devastating for Beat, as Rhyme is Beat's sister.
Right, and then we get explained that a partner, like a Reaper, if one player dies, their partner is like going to like be is going to be erased with them, like 7 minutes later because
Yeah.
number 7 is very important to this series. It's almost like number 13 in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. And Mr. H ends up stating
Hey, if you go to my cafe right now, we can we can fix this.
How do we get there in 7 minutes? That's like on Cat Street. That's far away.
He has a skateboard.
he has the warp travel. He's on a coma.
That, I mean, when you learn more about him, I guess, yeah.
It makes sense. Beat probably found, like, Hanakoma probably didn't hide the secret from Beat, but Beat didn't figure it out because, he's
dumb.
Beat.
He thought nothing of it.
He thought it was just some special psych that only Hanakoma had. Okay, anyway, back on topic. So, week 1 finishes with you fighting Higashizawa when he turns into giant goat demon. And
Reaper has a noise form, which noise are like the main enemies of the game.
Right. But only like the game masters have like noise forms, like the head honcho Reapers.
Well,
I don't think so.
I think other Reapers do have noise forms, just they don't always enter them because
they don't need to use it.
Like how noise forms. Yeah, because how noise forms work for them is that like Reapers can't really die normally, but when they enter their noise form, they're like ultra powerful, but then they also can die. So it's like a risk. It's like a risk reward thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they can also, as we later find out, they can also just be erased like players if they don't get like enough points within like a certain time span.
Everyone's got to eat. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
Amazing quote.
So yeah, to wrap up week 1.
Quote.
So, do you mind if I just... I know this part is only explained in a flashback of week 2, but do you mind if we just, for convenience sake, just bring it up here?
Sure.
The results?
Oh, yeah. We should.
Yeah, totally.
They get teleported to this white void. I know what it actually is, but let's just...
It's a wide void.
By the way,
touch on it later.
They get teleported into like this creepy room that when you actually get there yourself at the end of the game, it's like all like black. Where the hell were the lights?
They had a power cut that day.
How big is this room?
They had to cut the power for effect.
Yeah.
For the vibes.
For the vibes, yeah. For the final boss vibes.
You know it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah. The head honcho, supposedly, the conductor. Quotation marks. No. Kizuniji is the conductor. The composer is someone different, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
But yeah, the conductor Kizuniji is like, okay, so only 3 of you got to live this game. So now we're gonna decide which of you gets to go home. And, they bring up how hypocritical it is, like, all of them should get to live, but he's like, haha, no. And so he decides Shiki gets to live because they ever explain how she got the most points?
Have you played as her in co-op? She's a beast.
She is kind of schnasty. She's kind of busted.
You know what? It was probably Mr. Mew. Mr. Mew got all the points.
Mr. Mew is a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
Do not underestimate that pig.
Kizuniji saw like him gigantifying like shoot lasers from his eyes. And it's like, oh, I gotta get her out of here. But yeah, so Shiki is zapped away, and then Beat decides to become a Reaper, and Neku is like, either I erase you right now, or you go another round in the Reaper's game. And Neku's like, fine, I'll play another week. And so his new entry fee is Shiki, because now that's who's most important to him.
Really fucked up. Because like, I like to imagine Shiki just got back to the normal world, and then right away she's like...
No, I like to think like she didn't even make it to the real world yet. She was like in the like transition phase between like the underground and real ground, and then it's like and then she's just stuck there like in some sort of limbo now that she's
in limbo, which is really messed up. Which is why I think Shiki won, just so they can mess with Neku.
Right, but because of that, Neku gets his old entry feedback, his memories. But strangely enough, the one memory he doesn't have is how he died. Now, week 2, Neku wakes up in the same scramble because I guess that's the one drop point for new players.
The spawn point.
The spawn point is just the middle of the scramble crossing.
Spawn camping.
I wish I was joking, but this is actually true. Every week just starts with Neku waking up in the middle of the goddamn Scrabble crossing.
Yeah, which is very funny.
So, week 2 comes with its new array of characters, including the fan favorite,
Yoshia Kiryu, but his parents, but mother and father, call him Joshua.
Long. I was talking about Math Man.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, let's be real.
Joshua is a pretty good fan favorite too, but
Yeah.
we all know.
Yeah, also, Show Minamoto.
Amazing.
I remember when I first played it, after I'd go to school, like, when I was first playing the game and I met Sho, I would constantly shout out his quotes, specifically, sine, cosine, tangent!
You're out of your vector! You're out of your vector!
I saw this
Teleporting!
I saw this one
started it.
I saw this one comment on an upload of Transformation, which is his boss theme, if you don't know. And like someone's like, can we get this song in Kingdom Hearts 4? Because I really want to see Sora fight him and just have side, cosine, tangent just be yelled at him.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Show us a secret boss, that'd be so good.
It would.
I was like, he's really powerful.
So yeah, Sho Minamimoto is a math whiz to the extreme extent. This is what people think gifted children go through in like their middle ages, but he's 18.
Yeah.
And in the direct quotes of Miss Konishi, I believe, or Iron Maiden, whatever, I forgot her name.
No, you had it right.
Konishi, yeah.
Yeah, Konishi. She says he excels in everything except teamwork, which is very
fitting.
very much good to see that.
He's a lone variable.
Yeah, he's a lone variable.
But, so anyway, Neku wakes up on week 2, and on the first day he gets another, like, Reaper email, about the mission, and it's written in, like, a math equation.
Yeah,
so we
and
already know something's off about this week, but then
I think he just knows.
Gotta find somebody good there this time.
He just knows the value of pi off the top of his head for some reason.
It shows us?
No, Neku.
No, I think what, he knew, like, the numeric value of, like, gold, like, the elements.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No,
That is such an odd fact to know.
Yeah.
And that is
Show knows, like, pi by memory, but the way he just shouts it out when he's about to die.
Which is very strange because it's an infinite
He prays to pi. He literally prays.
Here's the thing, it's just very strange because it's an infinite number. Pi goes on forever.
It is an infinite number.
It's like, man, the show's figured a lot of it out. What if he found out, like, it's actually not infinite? Like, he found out the final number.
It ends in 7.
But he got cut off before he could say it.
Anyhow, I wonder who Neku's new partner for this week
Right,
is.
Mr. Twink Man, Joshua.
Yoshia Kiryu, but his mother and father call him Joshua. Is a very mysterious boy.
Very.
Yes, and funnily enough, Neku immediately finds out that for some reason Joshua can scan him. Or not, Neku can scan Joshua, I mean.
Yeah.
Which is weird because players can't scan other players.
Like, I think the explanation is, like, it's because of the player pins, right?
Yeah, basically.
They have some
Kinda,
kind
yeah.
of, like, flocking signal.
Well,
for each
technically,
other.
early on, what is learned is that Joshua isn't actually dead. He's actually
Right.
gifted. He's
Yeah.
actually gifted psychic, which allowed him to enter the Reaper's game through a loophole.
Yeah, he has a sixth
Right.
sense apparently.
The sixth sense, he can see.
I wonder what that means.
He could see, based on, like, the story he and Hanakoma tell, Joshua was always able to see people in the UG, and so he had, like, a fascination about, like, the underground as a whole, and thus he was like, and so somehow he found a way into the UG and became a player while still technically being alive.
We know the reason.
We know the
Well,
reason.
we all know the reason.
The viewers don't.
Let's save that when it's actually revealed.
Let's save that for later.
Yes, so you just go by, a lot of the time during this week, you just ignore the mission that you're given. I mean, after a while, Show just stops giving missions, to be fair. How about we don't do this? How about we go to Cat Street and just hang out with Hanakoma today?
How we learn the intricate history of Shibuya.
And Hanakoma gives you upgrades to your phones, including a tracker for something that Josh wants to find, which is supposedly the composer of Shibuya, which looking at it as a whole, the story as a whole, is just very weird for him to say.
Yeah.
And as you kind of piece together, the composer is very obviously a very powerful figure, and he's probably more godlike.
He's the god. He's the god of Shibuya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The god of Shibuya specifically.
Right. And yeah. There are multiple composers for like different parts of Japan.
Yeah,
Or even just the world.
We're only concerned right now with the one for Shibuya, who for right now we don't know. But
right now we don't.
Also, we have a couple run-ins with Beach, who is now a Reaper and has like this squirrel noise on his shoulders,
which has a very similar color scheme to a certain now dead character.
One character. Can we just say who it is? But like
Rhyme.
this one,
It's Rhyme.
Yeah, it's Rhyme. It's Rhyme.
It's Rhyme.
So basically, the explanation was in order to keep Beat from getting erased, Mr. Onokoma tied Rhyme's soul, because the thing with getting erased, that it only erases your physical form. Your soul is still intact. It's just floating in the air.
Kind of, yeah. I think only for like a limited time though. Eventually, your soul just goes away.
Okay, I didn't remember that part, but yes, Hanekoma was just like, okay, her soul is still around, so I'll like tie it to this pin to give her like a noise form, and so that's how Beat was able to stay in the game by just bonding with the pen. Is that right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. But after that, so
we get a kick-ass theme from it.
We really do.
definitely.
It's such a good boss theme.
Speaking of kick-ass themes, let's get back to show. So it's revealed, I think, on day 6 that, again, this is like a very important scene, that Sho has been like graffitiing Utagawa with this like fucking occult circle.
Yeah, he's also been leaving trash heaps everywhere, which is weird.
Okay, well that he's always been doing that, but that doesn't really amount to much. That's all like one side quest with 777 and his band members.
That's true, but like
I'm really sad they didn't bring that back at all in like Neo. I'm not gonna lie.
And also the thing is, Neku also gets like weird, inexplicable headaches whenever Sho is nearby.
Right.
Which I mean, I guess they could just happen if you're nearby Sho for anyone, but
Fair enough. But actually about that, so Neku keeps scanning Joshua when he has the chance, and he slowly starts to see that Joshua seems to have memories of him, and seemingly was the one to kill him. But we aren't
involved in his
really
death.
for sure yet. So, and then on day 5, Joshua is pushed. Neku and Josh are like are up against the wall against a taboo noise, which have suddenly started appearing. These are like black noise that are like they go against Reapers as much as they go against players.
yeah, they can't be controlled by anyone.
Right, so they're just wild animals, and so Joshua's like, fuck this, and then uses his actual powers and zaps them with a giant sky laser.
It's Jesus beams.
But Karya, based on what Karya says when he immediately shows up after the fight, he's like, oh, you're alive, so the player is meant to assume, oh, so if you're alive but in the Reaper's game, you just get god powers? Okay.
Karya, otherwise known as Garfield.
Okay, let's actually skip ahead. So yes, on the final day, you get a message, but it isn't written in the way Sho writes his like missions or mission briefings. So you go to the tower by the side of Dogenzaka, Pork City, which I'm sad never made a comeback in Neo. I won't lie, but
Pork City was still cool.
I'm fine with it. I'm scarred by the bonus
so you
day.
have to do 2 floors on this final day. You'll have to do 2 floors, and then you get immediately to the rooftop, and Sho's there. And he's like, "What the hell are you two doing here?" And Neku was like, "You asked us to come here." No, I didn't.
What are you doing here?
But now that you are here, I'm gonna murder you.
Like transformation.
Yep, and then the boss theme plays, and
you fight Sho, you manage to beat him, but he decides, I'm gonna go out with a bang. Zeta Flare!
not Zeta Flare, he uses a level I flare.
Right,
of course.
Imaginary number, because of course it is.
Which is very powerful.
So yeah, Joshua decides to pull Piccolo and just push you to the side and take the blast for you. So again, Neku doesn't have to worry about like the 7-minute time limit, because by that time he's already won the game, so he's already back in like the white void with Kitanichi.
Also that scene, which is one of the rare scenes with voice acting in the original game, was so good. give up on yourself, you give up on the world. That is such a good fucking quote. I love it so much.
So I haven't seen much of the anime, but I saw the one clip that adapted that scene, and I like how it interpreted, like, when Joshua pushes Neku, I just thought, like, he pushed him to, like, the floor of the rooftop. No, in the anime, it's just like he just pushes him off the roof entirely.
Oh, it's safer than being in the vicinity of a level I.
It really is.
I thought, like, Joshua would just, like, create, like, a barrier of sorts, just, like, behind him to protect Neku, but not him. I don't know. Anyway,
Jesus barrier.
Jesus. But yes, Kitaniji is just like, so you beat Sho, which, thanks, you know, I'm the one that actually sent that final mission because I wanted you to kill that asshole.
Thank you. He was really annoying me.
Your partner was still technically alive, so your victory's kind of null and void. So there's that loophole for you. You won't play another week.
Yeah.
I just want to play another week, right?
I don't want to play another week.
Yeah, well, too bad, because you have
just
to.
drops him back into the crossing.
Too bad. There are still more mysteries.
And then, just as a final fuck you to Neku, Kitaniji's like, oh, by the way, you're the only player. Good luck surviving. Bye.
Yeah, which is a problem because by only player, she means only player, no
Yes.
partners.
Yes. And something we didn't bring up during week 1 is that you need a partner to fight the noise and just survive the game in general.
You can't even use pins without a partner.
Nope.
Which
not at
pins
all.
are how they fight.
Right. So Neku is utterly screwed. He's just like, oh, god damn it, this guy set me up for like instant failure. But beat to the rescue, baby!
Beat
Zoom in on his
isn't.
skateboard and decides, you know what? It's time for poker, and becomes Neku's final partner for the game.
My favorite partner. He's actually busted.
I
At
love
least
Pete
in my
so
opinion.
much.
I love the poker gimmick with him, and this is the final week of the game, and it goes by fast.
Yeah, the week is very intense, especially when you.
Like, it's not just the fact that, like, you know, we're like, oh, it's the final act, you know, it's gonna be pretty short and pretty action-packed. But I mean, like, damn, we're just blazing by. Like, I feel like, well, there was like that one day, what was it? Where you go to Hanakoma's bar and you find a safe with one of like the key pins, and then you fight Sho, and that's it. Nothing else happens. And you're immediately like, okay, next day. Whoa, alright.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then again, like, they don't even get any, like, mission objectives that day. They literally have one mission objective, and that lasts for the whole week, and that's finding the
You
mission.
get, like, the first day, Neku gets that email, like, hey, you need to, make a partner and then head to 104. And then the second day onward, Konishi, the third and final game master, decides to just drop in and say hi. Now that Beat's partner's like, oh, by the way, you collected 0 points while you're Reaper, so, you know, you're gonna be erased, by the end of the week either way, whether you win or not. And so, as his entry fee, she takes the rhyme noise and just crushes it back into a pen, and it just says, okay, well, if you can find me before the end of the week, I'll give it back to you, bye!
Which is very sad, because that was a heartbreaking scene when, like, you just see, like, her, like, take the pen and, like, take the noise and just, like, crush it.
Right. And then, so yes, that's basically your one mission for the rest of the week. Just find Konishi just somewhere.
Yep,
But
game of
while
hide and
that's
seek.
going on- While that's going on, Beat is also trying to collect, like, key pins, basically, which Reapers use to, break down walls, you know, or, I think just to open walls for them. And he's trying to, like, find the right one to break a special wall in the Shibuya River, in the underground expressway that leads to the Shibuya River. Because B found out, hey, down the Shibuya River, that's where the composer is. If I beat him, I become the new composer, and then there you go, I can bring Ryan back.
Solid logic. Pretty solid logic.
Yeah. You know what?
Beat God,
That's
you know what I mean?
and I'm proud of him.
Beat God. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you know what? If Beat was the composer, I feel like Shibuya would be a much better place.
So much better.
Beat ain't exactly the brightest tool.
Everybody's
Sharpest tool in
wearing
the shed.
beanies. Everybody's wearing skull beanies. Fuck yeah.
Okay, that would be awesome.
That would actually be
Everyone's,
cool.
everyone's a skater boy, skater girl, whatever. Avril Lavigne's like dream paradise.
Heck yeah.
Okay, we're getting off topic. Goddamn. He's trying to find the composer while also trying to look for Kanishi to get Rhyme back because, you know, what's the point of becoming a composer to fix Rhyme if you don't have her?
Yeah. Eventually, they learn also that the red pins that they gave out in week 1.
Now,
those
like,
were-
mind controlling everybody.
Yeah, mind controlling everybody, including the Reapers. like Shibuya starts losing its spark, and like whenever you like scan, you can just pick up on like random conversations. Now during week 3, whenever you
Everybody's saying
scan,
the same shit. Everyone has those red blue
Same
eyes
thing.
and like, oh, and the darkest day.
yeah. SL, do you happen to know the quote off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but it's like shine a light on true redemption.
I know it ends with like what a wonderful
What a
world.
wonderful
which,
world it
fun
would be.
fact, is actually the original name of the Japanese version of the game.
Yeah, what a wonderful world.
Right. So I found that like that was very cool how they worked that into like technically the title is referencing the villain.
Yeah, also the main theme is called It's So Wonderful, so like together it's like what a wonderful world, it's so wonderful.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Right. So anyway, so you figure out how Beat and Rhyme died in Enter the Reaper's game. It was like in a car crash. Beat was upset with his parents because he's not good at school. You know, he tries his best, but he's not as good.
They're also low-key abusive.
Yeah.
Right, like
Really
comparing
abusive.
Rhyme and how good she is, which is obviously not helping. So he runs out of the house. Rhyme chases after him, and then both accidentally get hit by a car. Because Beat tries to like save her from the car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think we should also end up going over their week 1 entry tickets because Beat's entry ticket was Rhyme's
Don't
memory.
feel like at the very end of week 3 that Beat's entry fee was Rhyme's dreams, apparently.
Yeah, I think it was Rhyme's dreams or the Rhyme's memories of him, and then
Wait,
Rhyme's
no,
entry
no,
ticket was the other one.
It was Rhyme's memories that Beat took.
Yeah,
for
I think
his entry fee.
I think it was Rhyme's
it's
entry
never
that
outright
was her
stated
dream.
what Rhyme's entry fee is, but probably
Maybe it's her
fans
dream.
It's her goals or aspirations, what she wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because she can't remember it, so the only explanation is that's her
Because,
entry
like,
fee.
technically, even though she was brought back, she still lost the Reaper's game. She never got it back.
Yeah, so she never got her
And
entry ticket
she
back, which
got
is
a
really
new
sad to
passion.
think about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she did find a new passion.
She
which
did
is very
find a
nice.
new passion, at least.
I'm happy for her.
Before we get to Neo, we gotta talk about one last thing about this final week, and that is that Hanakoma's acting very shady. He's been gone this whole week.
Yeah,
And you find out that before he disappeared, he checked on that Uragawa summoning circle.
To be clear, the summoning circle is how the taboo noise are summoned into the UG.
Actually, that picture you saw of him where he's touching the circle wasn't him just like checking on it. It was him actually like finishing it so he could summon Show back as like a taboo noise hybrid, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, that form of show is really cool.
Right. Yes. So yes, Show's back for like the last few days.
I actually have a question. Do you think the reason why Sho wears a hoodie and stuff during Neo is because it's so he can hide his taboo noise tattoos?
Possibly, I think it's just cool,
like,
though.
The weird thing is, it's like in his like taboo noise form, like his kind of hybrid form. You see like his hands are also like changed.
Yeah, I think
Like,
he's...
his hands are normal looking in Neo.
Yeah, I think he's just normal Show in Neo, but like, I think he just looks cool in the hoodie.
Yeah. Fun fact, I remember reading this once on the fan wiki. Show's original outfit
I know this one.
in the first game was actually based on an outfit Nomura owns. Nomura is a Show Minami Moto Kenny. You can't change my mind.
I remember it was I remember reading it, like, was the interview question. They're like, which Neo character's wardrobe would you like to have? It's actually the other way around. Show has my wardrobe.
Yeah. Another fun Nomura fact of the series, there's this one specific brand in Neo TWEWY that's an actual real life brand because Nomura is like friends with like the lead designer of that brand.
Amazing.
Right.
Like, hey, do you want your brand in the game? He's like, sure.
So on the final day, just skipping ahead to the final day, you finally found the key pen needed to open the way to Shui River, but by the time you get there, it's already open for you. Somebody tore it down. Obviously, it's Show.
He didn't
You
even
get
use
there,
a
you
key.
find
They
Show.
broke it.
Right, he broke it, and then it turns out Show's just like, I don't even want to fight you. Konishi, you do it, and Konishi just pops out of Beat's shadow.
That's what she's been hiding.
That's where she's been since day like 2.
Yeah, and apparently that wasn't a clue. Like there was a clue for that. I think Hanakoma left a clue about that. He's like, beware of like the shadows or whatever. And then you get into a really cool boss fight where you can't. She like steals your pin.
One was like you could actually like, on Konishi's part, this is really like a cool plan because on the day where she's supposed to go into Beach Shadow, at the end of that day, you're led into like that concert stage that's still dealing with a blackout.
Yeah.
So that was like the first chance for her to like slip into the like Beach Shadow. Because technically that whole place is a shadow at that point.
Yeah. But like, I actually love that boss fight because like getting your pen thrown away and having to rely on your partner, and then being able to finish her off with the freaking guy noise. Yeah. It was so cool, and then you get the pin afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a pin you can't sell, so if you replay that fight for any reason, you're just gonna have like so many rhyme pins.
Yeah, which
imagine having 99 rhymes in Shibuya.
it's an okay pin. It's not like a strong pin or anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of mid.
Mid.
Beat Konishi, go ahead and you enter that area of any RPG where it's like there's no turning back.
Yep.
And then, and when you get there, you find Shiki. I guess because now you technically won the game, so now you don't have an entry fee, but you're still weirdly in the UG.
So I want to say, did anyone else like?
That's not weird, but
didn't anyone else feel creeped out when like they'd gotten so used to like normal ass location names popping up when they enter a new area, and then suddenly going to the Shibuya River and just saying the Rubicon?
Right.
Dead God's
Pad. Sticks. Like, what the fuck? Am I in hell?
Dead God's Pad.
I mean, you technically were in hell the whole time.
That was cool. But,
Dead God's Pad is so cool.
It is.
But yeah, you do find. Actually, no, okay. So you find like at the end of the Shibuya River is the Dead God's Pad, where you've been seeing the head honcho reapers just meet up in this bar. It's a bar that the head honcho reapers have been meeting up since like the start of the game.
Satisfied.
That's where you find Kitaniji, and he decides he's gonna fight you now. But he's got his own partner, and that's when Shiki gets possessed by an open she-out on her from like day 6 of the first week.
Oh, do you think the lyrics? Do you think the lyric in O parts refers to the opens?
I'll have to look back on the.
I'm
like
pretty.
O parts, cold hearts, so dark.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Or is it just gibberish?
I mean, it's a bit of both, really.
Lyrics are kind of gibberish. I won't lie.
There's a lot of hidden theming in a lot of the songs.
Oh, definitely.
Like with jump over yourself and stuff like that. Wow, Pete, you get 3 themes?
Wow. Did Joshua even get 1?
No.
It's so wonderful is usually referred to as his theme.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, that would make sense.
But so you fight Kitaniji and the possessed Shiki, and then everyone's knocked out except for Neku. And there's no exit seemingly, but then you decide to use your player pin, and through scanning the area, you find like a hidden doorway that leads into like the
cool.
Of the river, which is that was really cool. That was awesome. And so you run down, and Neku sees like this giant cat mural. Didn't bring that up. Hanakoma turns out to be Cat, who was
Cat is like Neku's biggest inspiration.
Right. Like, he was this underground graffiti artist, no one knew who he was, and then Joshua tells Neku, like, oh, you're a big fan of Cat, huh? Did you know he's Mr. H? And, voice for 50 minutes.
He's not just a graffiti artist, he's like an artist in general. He also makes music, like, videos and stuff. Like, he's just like a...
Yeah, he's a creator.
Like, Hanako wasn't even subtle about it because his cafe was called, like, a Cafe Cat or Cat Cafe or something.
His cafe was on Cat Street.
On Cat Street, yeah. Like, come on, man.
I
guess like when you put it next to Jupiter the monkey, you also gotta have like an animal theme to your like name.
Yeah.
Well, all the brands are based off, I think, the Chinese zodiac, right?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Now that you say that, it totally makes sense.
I don't know if they kept that up in Neo. I don't think they did.
Small theory. Do you think all the music in at least OG TWEWY is made by Cat?
Sorry?
Like in world canon wise. I know like in the real world it's made by other people, but like in lore.
Wait, did you say like the pins designs?
The music.
No, the music
of the game.
I mean,
yeah, I believe it.
I can see that, but
like, here's the thing. Like, Neku's such a big Cat fan. I'd understand if he had like Cat's music in like those headphones all the time.
that could definitely.
Especially Game Over, which is like Hanakoma's theme. That's definitely a Cat song.
Oh, absolutely. Also, it's really good, by the way.
It's so good.
I love that part where like it loops back to the beginning. They just add more instruments to it. Like that's my favorite part of that song.
Yeah, it was amazing. So to summarize this final stretch of the game, Neku is seeing this giant cat mural, and so he's reminded about Mr. Hanakoma. And at this point, you're kind of led to believe that Hanakoma is going to turn out to be the composer. So you finally get to the Room of Reckoning, where you met Kitanichi twice at the end of like the weeks. And you know, it's all black now, the lights are off. I guess because you beat Kitanichi, I guess he had the switch on him. Then
electricity bill
like,
high.
oh, yeah, I'm good now. Hi, what's up?
I'm still alive. You didn't kill him.
We have
You didn't kill me in my
philosophical
noise for it.
discussion about like whether people should have freedom.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then it's because then it's also, I think, eventually later revealed that Kitanichi is doing this to try and keep Shibuya alive. In
Yeah, like,
somehow.
turns out he was the good guy all along.
Turns out.
Not really the good guy. He was going about it all the wrong reasons.
It wasn't like. I was just saying, like, compared to Joshua.
Yeah.
Guys, turns out Joshua comes back out of nowhere. Abid and Shiki also come back. So you have all three partners to like fight Kitanichi with your super awesome fusion art.
Yeah. And also, Kitanichi ends up like capturing all three of them, and the way Joshua's captured specifically is he is hung like cross-style.
Jesus, like in the crucifix pose.
Yeah, he's like crucified. He's like,
Yeah.
I wonder what that means.
God damn it.
Because they did that for all the other characters. That would just be like classic
Okay, so-
anime shit. But it only happened for Josh.
Yeah.
I also like how it ties into Neku's development. How in the beginning when he
yeah.
first plays in the opening, it's like a solo, but then this Twister is like
You know,
multiple,
he walks his time in, the crowd's
Yeah.
going wild.
which shows Neku's development and how he's learned to rely on other people.
Alright, so yeah, we barely touched on it, but like Neku's whole like character development has been like opening up to other people, being more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Just like playing people and talking to them, being more social, which definitely affected me when I was very
Be social.
when
We
I
all
started
were.
being social.
We all were.
and everything.
Yeah. All three of
We all
us.
did. Thankfully we had video games to teach us how to talk to people.
So true. So true.
But to bring an end to like the story summary, so Kitanichi, Joshua turns out to actually be the composer, and he banishes Kitanichi. Kitanichi gets erased, and then Joshua's like, "Hey, here, have the last bit of your memory." So week 2 ended with the twist that Sho was the one who's supposed to kill Neku, right?
Yeah.
Well, it started with finding out that
twist, Joshua really was the one who killed Neku. He shot at Sho. Sho tried to shoot back at Joshua, but he deflected the bullet with his Jesus powers. And Sho's like, "Fuck this, I'm out." And Neku's like, "Oh man, thanks." No problem, and then shoots him.
But here's the weird thing. It starts off you thinking Joshua shot him, and then you're like, oh no, Sho shot him, but then like, no, actually Joshua did shoot him. You were right the first time.
I hated that.
I hate that so much.
I did not
I actually liked it because I thought it was kind of funny. You also learned that Kitanichi and Joshua were also playing a game with each other for the fate of Shibuya,
Yeah.
and that Neku was Joshua's proxy.
As Kitanichi is about to die, you just see like there was a timer on his hand. Like it was like a really big timer. Like what the hell?
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
Oh, this sucks. You know, I'm gonna reboot this. Enough with the beta testing. And then Kitanichi's like, no, I like Shibuya the way it is. Why if I fix it? It's like, fine, you get like 3 weeks worth of time.
Throughout week 2, Joshua himself also develops as a character, and then
Yep.
he doesn't want to erase Shibuya.
Right. Because through like Neku's little bit of development from the first week, he was able to show Joshua like, hey, there's still like some beauty left in the city. So
Kind of
it's
people
like,
have their own little worlds.
it's like gunslinging standoff the two end up in. Neku is just like, I gotta trust my partner. Doesn't shoot, and then Joshua shoots him, and then Neku ends up in another goddamn week.
I think he actually wakes up in the real ground, because that's when the game ends.
No one
No,
decides
'cause-
to help this boy up.
Well, no, because it like doesn't resume until like another 7 days later.
Because that's what I seen when I first played it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was just like it was like the same scene again of him waking up in the Scramble Crossing, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then 1 week later,
he does go through another game.
I think.
Joshua, you're making him go through it again.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
there's
God.
no noise or anything that time, but it's still another week in the UG.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
Joshua's just like, you know, you can be alone for a week, see what happens.
but he doesn't erase Shibuya, and then we get this.
Right.
We get the ending scene, and I know the ending song is different.
Shiki's real form, but like it gets cut off. but
Yeah, we
Shiki-
see a glimpse. We see a glimpse.
Small shimmer.
I'm so glad Neil came out and finally showed us what she looked like.
I mean, we could
so
kind of, no offense, but like we could kind of assume from the little glimpse we saw.
I know, but it's like
Yeah.
nice to have like actual
Yeah, it is nice to
confirmation.
actually see it in like full body art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this was also there were also secret reports after you beat the game.
Can I
And
before we go on to the secret
there's-
reports, can I share a theory I have?
Go ahead.
So I think in week 1, Joshua is trying to become Neku's partner because just before it transitions into the
There's a little
cutscene.
Easter egg in
Yeah,
like week
if
1,
you look
day
really
1,
close-
where you
if
see
you-
Joshua in the corner there.
Yeah, Joshua is right beside Hachiko. It's like literally a blink and you miss it like thing because the
I think
cutscene
like
loads
he
really
disappears
fast.
as soon as like the
But, like,
the
he-
cutscene with like the tutorial fight is over. Like he's just gone now.
Yeah, he's
So I
gone
guess
after
it
the
was just
cutscene.
like, oh damn it, I missed my chance. Oh, next week I guess.
Yeah, so that's
He's
just my
just checking
theory.
in on his proxy. He's just checking in on his proxy, probably.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a theory I have anyway. It
But
doesn't
anyway,
change
yes,
anything.
the secret reports are written by Hanakoma, and it turns out and this is where like pretty much all the lore is for this game.
Yeah. We learned that.
I'm like glad they didn't like spend time in the actual game like trying to explain all this shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, hey, if you care about this, find it yourself. You know.
We ended up learning a lot of interesting stuff, though.
Right,
That,
because
angels
Hanakoma
exist?
turns out to be a producer, which is another title for like angels of like the higher plane.
Yeah, and that's what
I
Hanakoma ended up being. He's a producer.
I was saying, I'm kind of sad. It's kind of missed opportunity that the higher plane wasn't called the above ground. You know what I mean?
But that sounds like a bit too much, and I guess it's supposed to be like completely like not because like the real ground and the
like unimaginable.
yeah it's like it looks it doesn't even look like the real ground or the above ground. It's something else entirely.
It used to heaven.
Yeah, it's literally heaven. But we also learned that Hanakoma is a producer, or is the producer, or a producer.
But then he loses his producer privileges and becomes a fallen angel when he decides to bring back Sho, which he only did because he too wanted to make sure Shibuya survived.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was really rooting for Sho like with his new taboo powers to beat Joshua, but then Joshua's like, haha, crushed under rubble, and then Neku finds him and is like, cool, sweet hat.
Yeah. Oh, my bravery stat isn't high enough
You
for this.
actually, you actually like, get his hat. Like as in, like you actually get his hat as like
As like an equipable item.
yeah,
That's so
equipable
funny.
item, yeah.
But, so anyway, if you collect all the secret reports, you get like this secret cutscene by the end of the credits where it's like Hanakoma's talking to Joshua, and then Joshua is seemingly like, I think they mentioned this on like the fandom wiki. In the original DS game, Joshua's like angel form is seen frowning in that secret cutscene. Then in like re-releases, they changed to him smiling.
I think he's happy that Neku is with his friends, but he's also like sad that like
He can't be
can't
one
be with
of
Neku.
them.
Because he actually became
wants
Neku's.
to be with them.
Yeah, 'cause he actually became Neku's friend.
And we also see him in his actual true composer form, which is like this.
Well, we technically saw him in a flashback to him and Kitanichi, but
Yeah, but
then Joshua flies away, and then Hanakoma throws his own angel wings to go after him, and then that's where the game technically ends. But there's also another day, which is like, I'm only bringing this up because it's fun with like the whole Timp and Slammer thing. Neku like immediately at the beginning like, I must suppress my inner emo.
Yeah, it's like the main story of it is very good if you want like a Saturday morning cartoon vibe, or like
yeah,
a what,
definitely.
especially if you want like a what if scenario with all these characters where it's just like they're having a good time. However,
There's my least favorite.
However,
There's my
there
least
is-
favorite part of this game.
There is a connection to the main story.
Yes, the Pork City, the Pork City dungeon.
I hated it. I hated it so much.
And there are 13 floors because, of course, there are. This is a game where Nomura worked on it. Of course, there's 13.
I had to grind out pins for that. You know how much I used the Rakshasa the Conqueror's pin for that because it's an unbranded pin, so it worked on every floor.
Yeah, what's it?
It was so useful. It's so powerful.
I streamed myself doing the Pork City dungeon. I hated every second of it.
Yes.
I actually lost my sanity doing that.
And then when you get to the top,
and you find Hanakoma, except it's not the same one
It's a different
as
Hanakoma.
the one from this world. And actually,
this is an alternate reality.
Actually, fun little fact: if you actually if you actually go near Pork City and you get a cutscene where Hanakoma walks in, and then if you actually take a detour back to Cat Street, it's like, oh, the cafe is closed. Oh yeah, Mr. H is back over at like that Pork City place.
Yep. And then
So anyway, so this Hanakoma is actually from the main universe, and you can tell by the way he calls Neku phones.
Yeah, which is the nickname he gave Neku the whole game.
Yep,
No,
because he has headphones.
No, the way Neku reacts to that nickname, this version of Neku, it's like Hanakoma doesn't call him that here.
Yeah, he's never called me phones before, he calls me Neku. And also,
anyway,
is Hanakoma still Cat in this reality?
I think
I
so.
would think so.
Yeah, Hanakoma's always Cat no matter what.
Yeah, but so this our Hanakoma is he's like, no, I want to see what you're capable of, and so splits himself apart to transform into alternate versions of Konishi and Sho's noise. Because I've noticed the pattern. Sho's noise form is definitely a fan favorite. How it's always been a secret boss in some way.
I mean, it's a cool looking noise form.
Yes, definitely. But if you it definitely got annoying with how Hanako would just keep saying every time he kicked you, just be like, the world ends with you, the world ends with you, the world ends. I know the game I'm playing.
Ends with you.
But if you manage to beat him, you actually get Neku's headphones as like an accessory to wear.
Yeah. And also, you get the final report, which is the report that reveals that Hanakoma is the
only
right.
here to pick up Joshua, who after he seemingly sacrificed himself against Sho's final attack.
Yeah, this is where we
check out another reality, see what that's like.
And also apparently all Joshuas from alternate realities all know each other because they're. I think in every reality they're all God.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But it's funny you mentioned that because I was gonna bring that up. So, in the middle of the Pimpin Slammer thing, Slammer story, you actually get to the Drew River and you can actually explore it. And if you reach the end of it, the Room of Reckoning, you just find another Joshua, and it's the Joshua that we know from the main story, and he challenges you to a boss rush. And if you beat it, you just get the same pins you got at the very start of the game.
No, I think you can get no, I actually remember what you get. Is it just
I don't remember. You get the same pins you got at the very start of the game, like the pyrokinesis, the lightning bolt, stuff like that.
Are we stronger or?
I think they were just the exact same.
Well, that's bullshit.
Or at least mastered already.
So that's a bit
I
bullshit.
feel like you get exclusive noise pins because I know each boss is an exclusive
To be
pin.
fair, if you manage to beat the boss rush, what, and
yeah, you've got a point.
What else is there for you to do except do the final, the secret boss?
Yeah, you've got a point. You've got a point.
Also,
same way with your only real reward for completing the Pokedex in a Pokemon game is nowadays it's a shiny card, but it's always been some sort of diploma image. It's you already caught it in Pokemon. What else is there for you to really reward you with?
well, except there is one more thing.
One more thing. Another day.
A new day, which takes place in main universe.
Which was only added in Final Arenas. And you meet another fan favorite character.
No, Atsurashi, the cutest widow weeper around.
To Kiki, the artist on Twitter, who's basically Coco personified.
I was gonna say it was Coco the Bandicoot.
No.
I'm kidding.
Just because I shouted out, when this episode comes out, I'm gonna link it to her so you can just see this one part where I shouted her out.
I'll put her Twitter in.
She makes amazing art on Twitter. Please go check her out.
I'll put her Twitter in the video.
She's great.
But anyway, so to get back on Coco, so Neku would wake up in the Scramble Crossing, because of course they do, and they find out they're in the Reaper's game expert mode.
Yep.
It's
Now
like
the
the
participant mode.
mangles all over. So it's like you take a right from the crossing, you end up in like.
You end up in Cat Street. It's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? It's been like completely rearranged. You can't even rely on your map.
Joshua's a fucking pussy in this game.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Let's go with Joshua.
Completely different. So you're like, okay, Joshua's not helping. Let's try and find like Hanakoma. And so you find him. And it turns out that yes, it is actually the Hanakoma that you know. And he's like, oh yeah, I came to check in on you guys. See, this Shibuya you're in, it's just like a giant noise.
Yeah. Also, you find Shiki in Rhyme, and Shiki's in her Eri persona,
Right.
which Neku's like, hang on, that's weird. You went through your character development. You shouldn't look like that.
Yeah.
You went through your character development. You can't look like that.
I think also
Well, I
Rhyme
mean, they make a
implies.
comment about it another day. It's like, why does she look like that? It's like, oh, just because we ran out of budget.
I think
Well,
also,
at least that's fair.
I think Rhyme also
but anyway,
implies she has a dream now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird
Oh,
because she technically
yeah.
shouldn't.
Okay,
Like,
get back on.
even Beats off put like that, but like at the same time, he's also like happy. It's like, oh, she has a dream again.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so get back to Hanakoma. It's like, oh yeah, so this Shibuya is like a giant noise, like a fake of it, and the person who created it is like standing right behind you, and the little gremlin Coco is like,
I love
so
Coco.
you fight giant elephant noise, and you're back in like actual Shibuya. You're in Utagawa, and as you all know, Utagawa is not a good place to be because as soon as they get there, and it's like Neku gets a call from Shiki, he gets a call from Light, but then Coco just runs in, and then Joshua also runs in, and then Coco shoots Neku, and he dies again because Neku can't catch a goddamn break.
It's erased.
God damn it, not again.
And then we see this mysterious girl. We didn't really know what her name was, so people just called her Hype Sean for a good while.
Her first technical appearance was in Solo Remix. If you actually like get the true ending with Hanakoma, right after you get that image of like Hype-chan, as we're gonna call it right now. We'll get to
Yeah,
it
that's right.
like, real quick, but yeah.
Coco's first appearance was in Solo Remix, but only for buying.
Like for like an online shop where you spend real money to get like special pins and items.
She was on that grind.
In this version, they give Hype-chan a bit more detail, and it's like in these visions that Neku seems to be getting of like Shinjuku's destruction, which end up actually happening
Shinjuku's destruction. That's right.
eyes, and you see like this final cutscene between Joshua and Hanakoma, where it's like, oh shoot, Shinjuku got inverted, oh shit, do you think we're next? And then cut, wait for Neo, baby.
And then they had to wait 14 years.
Then we got Final Remix. Thankfully, it was like only like a 3-year wait, right? Wasn't it?
Something
No, I
like
think
that.
it was a bit longer than that.
No, I think it was 3 years because I was 15 when Final Remix came out. That would mean 2018. It came
right.
it came out last year, which is 2021. So.
That's true. I'm bad at math.
Dang.
They wanted to make a sequel actually much sooner, but they were preoccupied with other projects. Something that started with the
Right.
king and ended in the arts.
Also, I've been able to free in it.
Sequel was always planned at some point. It's just like it took forever to get around to it.
Yeah.
And since it was a niche game,
And
it wasn't
didn't
top
help that the
priority.
game was like a giant success starting out.
Yeah, which sucks. Play this game, by the way. Play this game. Play this game.
Please play these games.
Play these games.
Please do it.
Play these games. Play these games. Play them right now.
Do not let that stop you from playing these games.
SL, they should play these games, right?
They should play these games. They should
right?
also watch me stream
Yeah.
these games.
Shiro, they should play these games, right?
Yes.
Play the games.
All three of us are holding the viewer at gunpoint, like you better play these games. Get on
Play
Switch
these
right
games,
now.
or you're going to the games.
Oh no.
Play this game where you're gonna be part of it.
YouTube, we are not holding real guns, by the way. We are not threatening
Be a character.
Do not demonetize us.
Also,
We're gonna make any money off this video, but anyway.
one last thing I want to touch upon is that Neku's design is actually a reference to Hear No Evil with his headphones.
Oh right.
Oh, that's
and Speak No Evil with Rindo, our next protagonist.
Which means that we're gonna have a blind protagonist next game.
I thought it was gonna be like either that or just like a character with sunglasses.
Yeah, because how it's been, it's not like an actual like physical alteration, just like an apparel thing. So maybe just like a sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's actually finally get to Neo.
Finally.
Finally, I know.
I think
we got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
Neo takes place 3 years after the original game, and
Which is weird.
Very weird.
Like how fast technology developed over the course of 3 years. Now we have like actual smartphones with emojis and Twitter and everything.
I mean, imagination is
back in the first game, but you know.
To be fair, when you take into account what imagination lets you do in the TWEWY universe, I guess it makes sense.
Fair point.
True.
I do want to touch upon that imagination is an actual power system.
Smartphones.
Oh shit! We never touched upon the actual gameplay, did we?
Nope.
We should do that quickly.
Yeah.
So the first game was like very reliant on the DS. Like it was made specifically for the DS, and they used every part of it they could.
You had these things called
bottom screen, and you used the stylus for different actions based on what pins you had equipped. The pins are basically like your arts, your like skills.
Xenoblade arts. I don't know.
Yes.
Or Tales of
Then,
arts. With an
then
E.
on the top screen was like your partner character who would actually fight the noise alongside you, and you two shared an HP bar. So you have to actually like competently control both in order to like win battles.
You have to actually multitask.
They heavily simplified it in the Solo remix and Final remix
I
because
mean,
you only
they
have one
had
screen.
to. You're like, again, there's only like one screen.
Yeah, there's only one screen. So instead, your partner is also like a separate pin, like the partner pin, and then you can summon them in.
Right.
Which I think is also still very interesting because you can do some very cool combos with them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless you play co-op like I did, and
each partner comes with their own gimmick. Shiki is all about matching cards, and Joshua is all about, of course,
numbers.
Going all about numbers. Like, oh, is this number higher or lower than the one we're looking for?
and then Beats is shapes.
Beats is just poker.
Yeah.
Which is also very mindless, which fits his character because he's not.
Because he doesn't have one.
He would just like set him up. People are like Final Remix with the whole like fusion like boost combo thing. You know what I mean?
I like how Beat himself even says, "I don't understand how this works." He's like, Ryan just did it for me.
Explain this for me. You also, instead of getting like actual armor, you just get clothing as accessories.
Yep, and each clothing is from a different brand. Same with pins and when you fight in different areas.
They come with like their ranking charts of like branding. So it's
And
like,
you can influence
this pin's better because the brand it's part of is like the top brand here.
But if you battle with other brands, you can actually change the popularity ratings, which is really cool.
But there's also like food items that you can get.
It's food.
Food increases your stats permanently. And it's the only way to increase stats other than HP.
Yeah, because
the only stat that goes up
that actually increases as you level up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you can actually like change your level, and if you make it go down, you can increase like your drop rate of like pins and items from enemies.
Which is really cool.
I remember I was streaming the first game, and then everyone in chat was like, "Why are you level 1?" And Shiro was like, "But the drop rate."
The drop rate.
The drop rate, though. You need them items. You need them pins.
I need the money pins. Along with that, pins themselves also level up and can also evolve, and they're different methods
some
for
can
pins to evolve. We don't talk about shutdown.
They don't tell you in this game.
They kind of do. They touch upon it. I hate shutdown PP, by the way.
What?
I hate shutdown PP, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like you just gotta stop playing the game and then, oh hey, I'm back.
There was also Mingle PP from the original game, but they got rid of that in Solo and Final.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And well, actually no, they did. They just combined it with like the points you get from like that scramble mini game you have in the menu.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which is another way to level up pins.
Tin Summer was a mini game.
We love Tin Pin Slammer. Give us an actual Tin Pin Slammer game, please.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Okay, I think that's everything we wanted to touch on.
Yeah, Tinpin is Beyblade, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything about gameplay for like TWEWY 1.
Oh, there's also a bravery rating, which is a stat, and bravery determines what type of clothes you can wear.
Right.
Different clothes.
I like how they're like, yeah, Neku can wear a dress. You just need to be brave enough to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot more to the gameplay, but it's hard to explain some of it, and it's very much something you gotta learn as you do it.
It's one of those things you really
fun.
have to play to fully understand.
Yeah. The game, it sort of keeps things vague on purpose because it's also confusing for Neku, because he doesn't have his memories. He's just thrust into this experience with no prior knowledge.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah. So before we go on to Neo, I think I speak for all three of us when they say Neo improved like everything in every possible way.
Oh god, yes.
Like
in
OG
story
is
and
still a
gameplay.
10 out of 10. Neo is like a
game is so amazing, but
Neo is so
I
good.
feel like this game not only was like a step above, but it also made Neo like slight up, and it also made the first game slightly better with like how it tied back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So to explain. Your new main character is Rindo Kanade, voiced by
my man.
upcoming star Paul Castro Jr. Hi, Paul.
Man.
I hope you find this video. If you do, hi. We're big fans of your work.
We'd really like you on the podcast someday, by the way.
Oh yeah,
So true.
for Neo's 3rd anniversary, well actually no, not
Second anniversary.
Oh, I'm losing my mind.
It's already been 2 years.
If we do another like anniversary for the World Ends with You, we'd love to have you on, Paul. Again, assuming that you even find this video. Hopefully you do.
Hopefully.
Yes, that would be so cool, actually.
But
We'll have you back for that,
I'm
Axel.
not assuming that every day Podcast Junior's just like looking up like Neo the World Ends with You every day on YouTube just to see what new videos have popped up.
He saw my Neo True
You
video.
never know. But anyway,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rindo is a very introverted kid who likes to just be on his phone all the time. Me for real.
Me too.
He's also responsible and wears a mask.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had
love
that exact
how,
mask.
Like Nomura tried to Nomura said like, the mask was designed before COVID-19.
Yeah, he designed all the characters before COVID.
I feel like they decided on the name Plague Noise after the pandemic, and they realized, oh hey, isn't it funny how he has a mask? It's like, make it the Plague Noise.
Plague Noise.
I never know. They could have been named something like different in like Japanese translation, and then it was the localization team put it in English. Like, let's just name it Plague Noise. It'd be funny.
Anyhow,
Rindo meets with his best friend Fret, and
I was known as Kosai Furusawa, but everyone just calls him Fret.
right, that's what we're gonna call him because
I'm very curious how he got that nickname though.
Anyway, yeah. Fred bought 2 pins that look like player pins for him and Rindo, and they go to Dogenzaki to eat it big. And then
they choose between either curry.
To meet with Rindo's online friend Swallow. They find out that somehow they've already entered the Reaper game at this point.
Shiro, I want to touch on something. When they go to get food, they have to choose between either ramen or curry.
I know what you're gonna say.
You always choose ramen because when you choose ramen, Brett says this: "In the mood for men."
Huh?
And it's the best line in the game.
It's so good.
In the mood for men,
Honestly, Fred is just like the king of like funny lines in this game, for real.
That looks
I still remember that one line where he's just like, Rindo, when has thinking gotten anyone anywhere? Like, that's a whole movie.
I also love that. If Mr. Minami was here, he'd say something like, "We need to bigger our numbers because of math, dude."
He's such a good character.
Also, in that scene, I remember making a tweet about it. In the Japanese dub, it's just like Fred's voice actor just sounds like Kermit the Frog when he silent screams.
God, yeah, he does.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
I played an English dub because superior.
So after you find out, after the whole like you two have entered the Reaper's game mysteriously, like don't even know
Crushed
how
by
you
a
did it.
fucking truck.
You meet with Goth Cat Girl Shoka, one of the best characters in this game.
Amazing.
Shoka. Incredible character.
Yes,
Later losers.
So she basically gives you the rundown, and then right after that, you meet another great character. Not one of my favorites, but he's still good. Suzukichi.
Love Suzukichi.
Max
So
Field
scary.
went the hell off with that performance, and I respect him
He
for
did.
it.
He's so good.
Um,
All the voice actors in this game went
Amazing.
so hard.
I'm really sad they didn't get like 1 or 2 more scenes of voice acting in this game because
Yeah.
that would have been appreciated.
Yeah.
So yes. Rindo and have no idea what they're doing. So they almost die again, and then Sho appears out of nowhere. He's just like, haha, crunch time.
He ends up becoming a party member, which is like
Only just 1 week.
Also, Neo has something very interesting in that each character can only have 1 pin equipped. However, you sort of control which character you play as. So it's and each pin is assigned to a single button.
Yes, you have like the whole party.
Yeah, you have the whole party fight at
whole
once.
RPG party, unlike the last game where it's like only like pairs.
Yep.
Like, that's just how. Now the Reapers game in Shibuya is being run by the Shinjuku Reapers. So now
They do it differently.
It's by Shinjuku's rules. So instead of like pairs, it's just whole on teams.
Yep.
And Fred is the one who makes up the team name. First it's Rindo's team, which is like, god damn it.
And then we get something even better.
Mistake by changing it to Wicked Twisters, which Rindo calls cringe, but I found it kind of
think it's
cool,
awesome.
I won't lie.
I thought it was sick.
Yeah. And then at the end of that same day, you meet Kanon, who is very important for Fred's story.
Kanon, my beloved. Kanon, my beloved. I love Kanon.
She is great.
But yeah. You
I also love her team. I love her team.
The Vario Beauties.
The Pariah Beauties. I love the Pariah Beauties.
They're so good.
you meet like almost every important character.
Swag!
Like almost every important character in this game you meet in week 1 to some extent.
Yeah, which is I think is actually really cool.
Yes, there's only like 2 or 3 characters I can think of. Well, no, there are
I thought of
multiple.
Tree.
I know who they are.
I know 3 characters you meet
yeah.
and meet after week 1 that are important.
But anyway, so skip ahead. You fight the Deep River Society, led by a Joker knockoff named Fuya.
Let's be real, even
Yep.
though they were called the Deep River Society, they were the most shadow team.
Okay, alright.
I'm sorry, I made the joke in my video, I had to bring it back here.
Oh, so bad. I love it.
Okay,
Why are they so horny for rivers though?
Yeah, like,
why
oh my
not?
god, it was so
What
weird.
the anime fan base is capable of. I'm surprised these people don't exist in real life.
Actually, I do know why. Because they would only do it for 1 week, they had to find one single defining characteristic and make that their whole thing.
Rivers.
Yeah.
Rivers.
Water.
Bodies of water. You also, I think we just completely skipped over Nagi. We completely skipped over Nagi.
Wait, Axel. Imagine there's like that one member of the Deep River Society who's like waifu is like Aqua from Konosuba. It's like she counts, right?
Get out.
Wait,
You have to look for
wait.
Mississippi.
Wait, they're all Hydro homies.
But
that what
I
they
think
call it?
we just completely skipped to like the end of week 1 and did not even
We're
talk
coming
about
back.
Nagi.
We're going back to
fuck,
that.
That's right.
How could you forget about Nagi?
I remembered. I thought we were coming back to that.
Okay, Nagi. So basically, she's a Fire Emblem fan girl.
She's a fan of the gacha game.
Get the point. So she supposedly is a pin fanatic, and it's like, oh, we're gonna hit the jackpot. We're gonna have all these cool pins to use in battle, but they're all like merch.
None of them are combat pins.
No, on
didn't
top
do
of that, she
anything.
has a crush on Shomi Namimoto because he looks like a character from that game she likes.
Yeah. And we also
Like
learned that
uncanny, like a resemblance. Like what the fuck?
yeah, we also learned that Sykes work a bit differently now. Before
Right. Everybody
Sykes,
uses pins. Everybody
Yeah.
uses the same set of pins.
but now everyone has their own unique special psych that they can use. Fret has the ability called Remind. He can make people remember things. Nagi gets 5. And Rindo gets a really funny one. Who can time travel in the past? And we don't get to see Sho's psych. He doesn't really. I mean, he doesn't really get one.
I don't think he really has one. He doesn't really have one because he's.
So at the end of a new day, Coco is just like, Neku's gonna need a better partner, and so uses the summoning circle that she drew in like the Shibuya River to summon Sho from the dead again, because man is just like man cannot stay dead. But
I don't think he minds, because that just gives him more time to complete his goals.
Alright. So anyway, we brought Nagi.
And then we go through week 1. We also meet Motoi. You know, he seems pretty cool.
He's a weeaboo, but just for Earth in general.
We meet Kubo, but we don't really know. We don't really know much about any of the Reapers yet.
Kubo.
I cannot believe that's still Xander Mobus.
I know. I wouldn't have known if the trailer didn't tell me that was Xander Mobus.
Recognize his voice. Xander Mobus has range.
So much.
He's also like the voice of Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen, who also sounds completely different.
Yeah.
He's a great voice actor.
Such a good voice actor.
I just love Kubo's voice because I think it's really funny.
Speaking of great voices, Shiba, the game master for all 3 weeks.
Yes, he's so cool. He's so hot.
Can I bring up? I don't remember where this interview was. But I remember seeing the interview on Twitter with the voice actor for Shiba. He said like, at one point he was like, "Welcome, Shiba of Shibuya," and the voice director's like, "Hey, can you not say this sexually this time, please?" Yeah, like, somebody's Spanish, just don't bullshit.
I mean, okay, no, listen, with how Shiba's character works, I think that's impossible.
Yeah, like everything he says is like sensual to some degree.
Very passionately hot, if you will. Anyway, so at the end of week 1, Suzuki beats up Deep River Society by himself. He's part of a team called the Ruin Bringers, but outside of him and another member we'll get to in week 2, like, nobody knows who the leader is.
Yep.
She's
very silly.
The 4-man band at this point fights Suzukichi, and then you still aren't able to beat him, but then the guy you think is Neku just shows up and helps out, and he's the one who...
It's Neku, wink wink.
Yeah, and then
wink, wink.
Shiba shows up. It's like, congratulations to the winners, the Ruin Bringers. That's right, you got outside help. You're down Snow and Void. Like, what the fuck?
We just beat him. What the hell?
You then learn how the rating system works.
Wait, the fight was Snow and Void, meaning that the Wicked Twisters didn't lose either, technically. So, meaning that the Deep River Society is the one to go.
Yep, because they got last place. They got the least amount of points.
They officially lost to Suzukichi before like the fight with the Wicked Twisters.
Yeah.
Then before the week ends, you get a glimpse of Hype-chan, who we now know is Tsugumi.
Tsugumi Matsunae. My beloved. I love Tsugumi.
I'm really sad she didn't get to do more than she did. Like, what we got was like, okay, but, you know, the fact that she was like the poster child for this game for the longest time.
I'm still holding on hope for DLC involving her. I'm still holding on hope for DLC.
Actually,
I mean, I don't mind like Shoka being like the main.
I know why she was the poster, but like I can't really say it without spoiling a certain character joining the party.
She had the headphones. She was basically like all the major characters from the first game combined into one design.
Yeah, I think she even had like the pendant.
Oh right, she did.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, she had everything.
So, are you guys okay with me telling you why she was so important?
Okay, sure. I remember like...
So, like...
No, you go ahead,
okay.
Go ahead.
So, apparently she was originally going to be a party member, but because a certain other female character got a lot of attention when they were revealed, they were like, okay, cool, you're just gonna be in the story, and we're gonna make this character a party member instead, because she's a lot more popular than you.
I feel really bad because I am that specific character's
favorite.
Wait.
I'm a big fan of that character.
Wait. To get the timeline right, they made Shoka a party member after the game was announced with the characters.
Yeah, because like after they announced all the characters.
Okay, I mean.
No. You see,
again, I love Shoka. I love her story, especially now with like I can't imagine. Like maybe it would have been a lot different if she was like still an enemy. Maybe she could have been like a secret helper.
They made her a party member like after the first ever trailer.
Like the fact of the matter is, I still love Shoka, and I'm glad like if Sugumi is gonna be replaced by anybody, it was her. But still, it's kind of a missed opportunity with Sugumi.
Sugumi was but yeah.
To be fair, they still didn't even do much with her in the story in the first place. With Sugumi.
True.
Like they already like did more with Shoka anyways, so.
I mean, they could have given like Sugumi Shoka's role, like with.
That's true.
Helping out.
The announcement trailer wasn't it revealed like they kept doing that thing with like each of the teams. Wasn't it revealed that Sugumi was already a member of the Runebringers?
No, like
she leaves that team to join the Wicked Twisters.
No, like
the original plan?
even before that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't think Shoka was shown like as soon as like the first ever trailer.
She was.
I'm wrong. I don't need to check back up on this.
Anyway,
yeah. So week 2 starts. It now Sho has left your party to do his own thing.
it's just 3. It's just the core 3. The 3 like new characters.
You're getting like beat down by everybody. You're like in a losing battle. So
And now the game's like, alright, we gotta find Neku and get him to join our team.
Skip ahead a bit.
To just the next day.
Neku fighting Sugumi and you save him, but it turns out it's actually Beat the whole time, which is a great twist. I love that.
Can we talk about
cool.
Can we talk about the glow up Beat got in between games?
I'm glad.
He got a big glow up. I mean, his fit kind of rocking.
I really like Beat's design in this new game.
Definitely. And again, I'm glad it was Beat because like his dynamic with the team, especially during week 2, is so amazing.
He literally gets along with everyone, which is something not even the team themselves can do.
Yeah, they all love him.
Right. Like it definitely helps keep your interest during week 2 with Beat's inclusion.
He also has the best psych in the game.
So true.
Sound Surf, my beloved. Sound Surf.
Fast. And with the rhythm minigame tied to it, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I especially love like there's like a second version to every Overworld song with it too.
Because of the sound surf.
Which is really cool.
Awesome.
And also the fact that it has like gameplay benefits too. Like,
it adds grooves to your.
It's not like fusions like in the first game. Like technically you still have those, but now you build up a percentage by doing combos.
And now you get to do beat drops.
Right.
And then eventually you get to do a killer remix.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
When it goes on, we learn more about Motoi, and
it turns out that he was just
he's just a troll,
an internet thief. He was a content thief.
Yeah, we all thought he was gonna be the cat of this game, and
not in the way we hoped.
He kind of was, but like.
In the worst way possible.
He would be.
Yeah, so he plagiarizes and he's an asshole.
Right. Typical influencer behavior.
Hey.
And then there's like this whole puzzle where
there's a difference, SL.
there's like this whole puzzle where like this random third party is giving the group hints, and they all think it's Motoi giving them because Motoi says it's him.
But it's actually Shoka, and then
it's revealed later it was Shoka. Yeah.
And club, I don't know.
But then Shoka was also giving information about the Wicked Twisters to the Reapers, so then...
No, Motoi was the one doing that. Motoi was the one giving information on the Wicked Twisters.
Shoka's like going through
he was also the one to rat Shoka out.
Yeah, and Shoka's going through this really big moral dilemma, and it's like really bad for her right now.
And at the end of that, it was like the second to last day, day 6 of the second week, where you actually fight Motoi, you find out his true colors. Then Kubo shows up. It's like, well, you couldn't beat Shoka, so why should I make you a Reaper? She's one of the weaker ones we got. And she almost spoils the big twist that happens tomorrow, but Kubo's there like, I watch your mouth there! Don't spoil it! Don't spoil it, you fools! But anyway, so Motoi is just like, he's guaranteed to fail at this point. He's in last place for sure.
He's gonna die.
You and Kanan and Motoi kind of forces himself into the situation, all plan together to take down the Ruin Bringers. So you take down Suzukichi, and then you immediately after take down Tsugumi. And so it's like, alright, they're a 3-man band, only the leader's left. And you wait, and then you wait, and then no one's showing up. And what, by the way, fun fact, Tsugumi has a different boss fight this time where she turns into like a crane noise. And Shiba shows up, he's like, I'm the game master, but also the leader of the Ruin Bringers.
And all the Ruin Bringers are Reapers.
Yep.
Right, and Rindo immediately lashes out at Shoka. It's like, you knew, right? What the fuck?
Yeah, which is like, really sucks for Shoka.
On this specific day, which means because of her leaking intel, Shiba now knows that Rindo can time travel.
Yeah.
I don't think he...
Shoka tells them.
No, like, because Shoka was like, it was like her last chance to like get back into the Reaper. Maybe Twisters as a secret agent for us and just find out what the deal is with them. We'll let you back in. She loves Shibuya now, she doesn't want to see it get destroyed. And it's also because of Shoka that we find out that the whole big plan was to destroy Shibuya just like Shinjuku.
And a lot of things happen.
Ironically enough, because of this one change that SL mentioned, is Shoka just became the most important character in the plot.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Shoka eventually joins the party.
For real.
And yeah, and she actually has a fairly neat fairly neat psych. I wish it was used more.
Me too.
Like, not really used for like pig noise and a few like.
It's used for like pig noise and side quests.
Yes, now we're finally at week 3. The sky has turned gray, and she was just like, I've set out my plague noise. You can't kill him the usual way. And also, we're going into sudden death mode.
I don't think it's turned gray yet. Doesn't it turn gray later into week 3 or?
No, at the very beginning.
Gray now. It just gets worse and worse with each progressive
Oh yeah, that's right. Sudden death mode.
Then sudden death mode is just like, now players are up against Reapers. This is my excuse for why you can still fight the Ruin Bringers. And then he's just like, if you find me before the weekends and somehow kill me, there you go, game's over, you guys win. But trust me, if I survive by the end of day 7, this city's going up in flames.
Yep.
Strangely enough, though,
Shiba is fucking insane.
If I may point out, he says try and find me, but even then on day 7, he's just in the Scramble Crossing.
Right.
Yeah, so I think on day 7 he just kills up and he's like, just get over here.
I can imagine like he renovated Dead God's pad. That's where he records all his videos.
Yeah.
I think it's actually where that might be it actually, yeah.
Yeah, because like where else, honestly? Actually, it would have been funny if that was the case, because that would mean like on day 6, Suzukichi was unintentionally leading them straight for Shiba.
The Shibuya River.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and day 6. Well, actually, before day 6, there's some more.
We need to talk about someone else who's very important. Two actually people who are very important.
But actually, fun fact: week 3, day 1 is when we're met with, unironically, another important character to like the finale.
Oh yeah, we are.
Hishima.
I love Hishima so much. He's so funny.
Like, Hishima's cool. I like him, and I like the little dynamic he had with Shiba.
She was introduced earlier, though.
I think we should also touch upon Kaie a bit.
Okay, yes, Kaie is very important this week, definitely.
And we should also mention that Coco is also in this game. Coco is also in this game. She's back.
This is literally the Avengers Endgame of TWEWY.
It's in week 3 where she becomes important.
Yeah, she's really important in week 3.
Okay, wait. To go one at a time. Let's get back to Hishima. I will say, I wish he showed up in week 2 at
Yeah, that's what I was
point.
gonna say.
Yeah.
It's also, like I get obviously Chekhov's gun. I've seen only included character by like around the same time as they're gonna be important. But at the same time, like was really like the final week, the start of the final week, the best time. And then finale time, he's gotta resolve this whole bitter friendship he has with Shiba.
His character is meant to be more of a plot device rather than an actual character, I think.
Like, yeah, I get that, but
Again, Karia and I forgot her name, who's always with Karia. Yeah, Karia and Izuki from the first game are also back, and I love Karia in this game.
He's so good.
Love his
he's so much fun.
Karia is
actually his boss now.
Also, fun fact, Karia and Garfield have never been seen in the same room together.
They never
I wonder
have.
what that means.
Never have.
Actually,
Karia and Garfield have never been seen in the same room.
You meet Mizuki on the second week, and she gives you like a bit of backstory on how the Shinjuku Reapers ended up in Shibuya. And I think it's like either she states it or before that Karia states that she was the conductor. Like almost no, I've never seen much of the fan base acknowledge that. Like she was the conductor before she like kicked her out. And like Karia is pretty powerful too. Like he could have been conductor.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to.
Because he's a lazy asshole.
He's lazy. Well, he just likes where he's at right now. He doesn't want to change.
You know, I respect that. I respect that, Karia. But
He knows what he's got.
yeah. So anyway, Kaie, he has right now in week 3, he has like this whole thing with like he's texting this mysterious person who has also been showing up in a few flashbacks since like in a few like end of day cuts in like week 2, and this turns out to be Rhyme, and it turns out her new passion after she lost her old one it was in hacking.
Yay! I'm so happy for her. She's a happy girl. She's going to send you a zip bomb.
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
She's going to leak your IP.
So it's explained, I think, in the secret reports that the way she actually found the RNS was because like she had been in the Reapers game before, so she had like, I guess she was able to just like have the sense to find it, and she was and now thanks to her hacker skills, she could hack into it and message people into UG through it.
So I think how it works is like previous players still have like latent psychic abilities.
And previous players also, because again they were in the Reapers game, were also they have their memories erased when Shinjuku got inverted. Because for everybody else, Shinjuku just never existed.
Yeah, like literally, Rindo, Fret, and Nagi do not even remember Shinjuku.
I'd like to imagine if, like, let's say Fred had a family member living in Shinjuku. He's just like, wait, I had an uncle?
Yeah, that's literally how it was.
Also, the fact that when you enter the Reapers game, everyone in the real world or at least I think at least in Neo, everyone forgets you exist when you enter the Reapers game.
Right, and the lore reason is because like just like with Joshua, somehow Rindo, Fred, Nagi, they all entered the Reapers game. Oh, actually no, B2. Those 4 entered the Reapers game without having died first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow, and it wasn't even like Joshua, because Joshua did it meticulously. He knew what he was doing when he slipped in. These 4, they were just like doing their day-to-day lives, and it's suddenly, oh, they're giant wolf demons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just there somehow, which does actually get explained.
It does get explained.
Actually, in relation to that, it's hinted out multiple times throughout the game that Rindo's player pin starts to look different from everybody else's.
Yes, as he keeps using it.
The player icon in the corner of the screen when you like choose to scan something.
Yeah, it does actually change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time as you make the discovery, who shows up but Kubo to be like, hey, I want to recommend tossing those pins, kiddos. You never know, because those are like your ID cards. If you toss them,
they kind of need them. But is it day 3 when a certain special lady
Yeah, it is when a certain special lady goes. Bleh.
No, I think it's day 2.
Nope, that's
no,
day 3.
Day 1 is when we find out about the plague noise and deal with them.
Yeah, and day 2 is fighting Shoka's best friend, and day 3 is when she goes.
I think Shoka's mother. It's same thing.
No, because she's only 19.
Now you guys are confusing me. I thought we were like, day 2 was like we fight Ayano.
Yeah, day 2 is when we're not talking about her. We're talking about someone else. We're talking about that person.
Isn't that day 6 when Shoka fights her friend?
Nope, that was day 2.
But don't we also fight him again in day 6?
Hey, who's Shoka's friend? Now I'm lost.
I'm not thinking. Is it Tsukishi?
God.
Oh, Ayano. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ayano.
Well, you fight in day 2. I know that because day 3.
Day 3 is when the other person dies, who I thought we were talking about.
Yes. So day 3 is very.
I gotta look this up now. Oh no, Kana.
There you go. Finally.
Yeah. So day 2 is
Shoka's friend. That's Fred.
So day 2, I think we should talk about day 2 first. Day 2 is very
Okay,
important.
so Ayano is like, because he's like, keeps telling Shiro, like, no, I'll make sure Shoka comes back. It's like, alright, fine, we'll guilt trip her into coming back. We'll gaslight her into doing it. And so,
low-key manipulative.
you know what, any good reaper should. Anyway, so Ayano gets infected with plague noise, so they're slowly killing her.
And she's using that as like to try and motivate Shoka to come back.
Getting back. But by the time you even, like, Shoka gets the message, like, hey, Ayano's infected with plague noise, Ayano's basically gone.
Yeah, it's too late for her now.
She can't be saved.
Also in day 1, they also find a way to combat the plague noise by using mirrors, I think.
Black lights.
So it was like, well, it's mirrors, but also like,
It's
black
actually
lights.
like it's black lights. They use the mirrors to spread it everywhere.
Okay. They don't explain how they managed to do in other areas, but you know, who cares?
I think they just have black lights like strapped to their like clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
They just have them on them.
Like a GoPro.
Yeah, kind of, probably.
Okay, but anyway, so fact of the matter is, so you fight Ayano in like the park, which you can finally access now.
The literal last area of the game.
Okay, but yeah, you get there, you fight Ayano in like, what was her noise even supposed to be inspired by?
I guess it's as good as mine.
Probably some type of lizard. I'm gonna guess.
I
Maybe
I
it
got
was-
more flamingo vibes from it.
Yeah, flamingo, something like that.
But like I also got flamingo vibes
iguana?
from like Sugumi's as well. So
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It could have been an iguana noise because you know the whole.
now actually yeah, it makes more
It's an
sense.
iguana.
It makes more sense if it's an
Yeah, an
iguana.
iguana.
Anyway, yes, you sadly kill Ayano. She says goodbye to Shoga in the final moments, and Tsukishi shows up like, damn, I'm sad too, bro.
Damn, that's fucked. That's fucked for real.
I was gonna fight you guys, but now I'm sad, so I just don't feel like it. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I just ain't gonna do it.
This must be like really sad for you guys.
Dies. That's basically it.
That's what I
But,
thought we were talking about.
Yeah, my bad.
Go into a bit more detail. I do like how the day is just all rewind or replay.
Oh yeah,
Day
'cause-
3?
Yeah, you start at the end
All
and
replay because Fred wipes your memories through a corrupted form of his remind powers. So Rindo's just like, oh god, I can't remember what the hell happened today. And thankfully he finds something in his pocket of just like a receipt from that smoothie place near Shibuya River. And he's like, oh, now I know where to go. And
Yeah.
so you have to keep backtracking, going back further and further into
That's
the day.
why you keep your receipts, kiddos.
Yep, you never know when you might need to time travel. But what actually happens now that you fixed the timeline? So Fred helps you fight Kanon through using his remind powers, which turns out to be a good countermeasure against the plague noise.
Yeah, because
Kanon
Kanon gets
unfortunately
infected by plague noise.
Still dies.
Yeah, Kanon gets infected by plague noise, and then how it originally happens that Fred goes to try and save her, but then he ends up
Like, she
getting corrupted.
texts him like, hey, please help me. And
Yeah,
so he goes,
no, literally what she says is, Fred, if you see me, you have to end it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I was bawling. I was bawling when I saw that. I'm like,
damn. But
and the scene where she
Kanon
dies
dies.
as well.
Good luck. And then at the start of the next day, Fred goes on an exposition about his
His
fucking
best friend
baggage.
before he
He's
met
like, yes, I had a
Rindo.
friend who I had a good friend back in school, and then he died, and then they died. I don't even think he actually specifies whether it was
They
boy or
imply
girl.
it. They don't explicitly say it because that would have made the age rating go up.
Yeah, it's implied. It's more just because, like, yeah, they definitely have to imply because it's rated T for teen.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Maybe if it was rated M for mature, they probably couldn't even imply it.
yeah, which
Outright say, I mean.
well, I think the reason why part of the reason why Fred liked Kanon so much, I think because Kanon reminded Fred of his old friend. I think.
Oh, it
Is
was
that
also, like, the outright states, like, she was just, like, so true about herself. Like, she didn't try to hide anything.
And he wanted to be like that.
Like, she was the kind of person that he wanted to be. He
Yeah,
was,
that
like,
makes
honest
sense.
about what he was feeling. And, you know, it's sad. Like, I definitely feel like there are a lot of people who can relate to Fred. Having lost,
Yeah,
like,
Fred.
something they cared about. And feel like they could have done something, but... And even
Yeah.
if they did do something, it still happened. And, you know, it's unfortunate. Fortunately, that hasn't happened to me, but
Yeah,
if
Fred-
it has happened to any of our viewers watching,
So
Um,
Fred's
I hope
character
you're
arc.
okay.
Fred's character arc is him dealing with his imposter syndrome, which is very, very uplifting by the end of
I
it.
remember seeing a tweet once ago saying like it's kind of fucked up how these like powers work with special psychs, because like Fred just wants to forget about his own trauma, but then it's like his whole power is making other people remember.
Yeah, and Nagi wishes she wasn't as like empathetic towards, or at least like, because with Nagi she's like hyper empathetic, I think.
Right, she wants to like not focus so much on like the inner details of somebody.
It's also she can also
like diving into their goddamn brains.
she's also really good at like reading people's personality, which is how she knows Fred is like mostly faking it the whole time she's known him.
Yeah,
right, Nagi, she does. We learned how to socialize through video games.
which I think is very interesting. How after week 3, day 3, Nagi and Fred's relationship.
Nagi started actually like
because Fred's being more true to himself, and Nagi's also empathizing with Fred because he just lost someone very close to him.
Rendo's whole power is like, oh, I can't decide anything. His whole power, trying to choose what points in the timeline he should fix.
Yeah.
Yeah. His character arc is him learning to become a leader.
Definitely, yeah.
Also, I really like Nagi's development because the other character's development is more out there.
Like here's the thing,
very
like
subtle.
hers is subtle. Like they don't exactly say what like growth she goes through.
They don't give a whole anime speech like I was like this, but now I'm this.
She does still definitely grow as a person, but it's supposed to be a lot more subtle.
Yeah.
Cause like there wasn't anything she was particularly scared of about herself or
get back on. So week 3, day 4, one of the biggest days of the whole game, honestly.
Definitely.
So plague noise are starting to spread all over the city, and you have to fight Kubo, or that's what you think. But then Kubo gets one shot by Sho, who makes his grand return.
He doesn't get one shot. Kubo just runs away.
No, based on like everybody's reactions by the end of the game, it was supposed to be like he just knocked out Kubo.
They think he gets one shot.
Right.
Yeah, and then Sho comes back, and then you have to fight Sho now. It's
to attack, force the bird noise to come out of Rindo's pin. Bird noise have been popping up on every day. Rindo uses time travel, so there's always been that subtle connection, but now we're getting it outright. With it actually, those noise actually coming out of the player pin. Sho has them gets them absorbed into himself to go into his noise form.
Yep, and then it's actually a taboo. It's his taboo noise form.
Oh yeah, that's
if you
right.
look at it closely, you have to fight him, and it's a case of winning the fight but losing in the cutscene, kind of. Like after you fight him, getting your ass beat in the cutscene, and literally like sacrifices himself to try and save him.
Before we talk about the cutscene, I just want to say.
One
sec, wait. Shiro. I just want to say before the cutscene starts, anyone who has trouble with that boss fight, his weakness is water. You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyway,
there you go.
Neku's back, baby.
Yeah, we get the gay sparkles, and Neku comes back and saves
and Nagi can instantly recognize the gay.
I mean, here's the thing. He does the first one he sees when he leaves that sparkle is beat.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And then also we get the exact same scene from Kingdom Hearts 2 when Sora finds Rico, and it's I looked for you. I looked everywhere for you. Yep. Neku comes back.
And I'm kind of glad like he only shows up at this like tail end of the game, so he doesn't steal spotlight from Rindo or any other random
Also, did you notice in the first game, Neku only has like one sort of wristband, and Shiki has a matching wristband.
And he has both now.
Yeah, he has both.
I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
And Shiki has like a ring on her finger where I'm like, did she marry Eri? Is that what's going on?
Lesbians, to be honest.
I mean.
Also,
the whole thing with Neku, where it's just like,
Also,
I don't know.
We did forget to mention there's some new brands in Neo, and one of them features a very familiar cat.
I think you mean a very familiar pig.
Yep. Yeah, familiar pig. Gato Nero. Which the brand figure for it is Mr. Mew. And then Neku comes in wearing a Gato Nero jacket.
Literally has Gato Nero printed on its sleeve.
He doesn't even know it's a Gato Nero jacket. He's like, wait, what brand?
What the hell's Gato Nero? It's like, it's on your goddamn sleeve.
It's just, it's funny in context thinking like Neku ended up in Shinjuku after it was like inverted, and then Kogo just pops up like, "Hey, I got you new duds. Now you're 18." It's gonna be like it's like that Sora scene where it's like the old clothes just didn't fit him anymore, and I had that growth spurt.
Yeah.
Did Neku actually have a growth spurt at all? Like, I feel like the only real difference physically was that he took off the headphones.
Yeah, so Neku comes
He also
back
grew his hair out.
and he absolutely solos show. He wrecks show's shit.
As he should.
Wait, okay, before the day ends, Show before he leaves just disappears. He does mention, "Hey, Rindo, your special psych, your time travel ability, that shouldn't be in the hands of a normal player. Sun's up with you."
What's up with you, kid?
But of course, he says that using a ton of math, so we don't understand him.
Right, I'm summarizing here, but
Yeah,
back to the matter is, after that, so day 5 is like really short.
Wait, I do want to mention something. I don't know if this happened in anyone else's playthrough, but when Neku joined the party and I opened the menu to rearrange pins for him, the pin that got auto-selected for him was the standard pyrokinesis pin that he starts out with in the beginning of the first game. Or like,
I think it does that for everyone.
I don't think that's intentional.
With the pyrokinesis one.
Yeah, I think it does that for everyone.
Oh, well, either way, it still
One
felt
of the things
fitting.
you start out with in this game too, so it's just like, oh, it's just the default for new party members.
It still felt fitting.
It still felt,
it
does
definitely
feel
did feel
fitting.
fitting, yes. But after that, so day 5 has you just running around. You have to fight the embers of ghosts, you know.
So they play the ghosts of the dead people.
Guys, there's dead people who have been erased.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're also trying to devise ways to, I think, because they learned more about Tsugumi. Like, oh, we got to bring Tsugumi back.
Right. Okay. So yeah, to get that around.
The whole day was to get to Cat Street.
Right, you get to Cat Street and you meet with Coco.
Yeah, Coco, and
she and
Coco's
Beat
like, we
have a
gotta bring
hilarious.
Tsugumi back.
She and Beat
And
have a hilarious
dynamic
conversation.
to be real, but
Yeah, they do have a hilarious dynamic, and
Yeah,
I
I
love it.
yes, you
Like, should we really trust in him, folks?
Neku, I literally
okay.
can't with him.
Okay, guys.
Sorry.
Long enough. I feel like we should just focus on just getting this
My bad.
done.
My bad. I couldn't help myself.
Very
Yeah,
passionate
okay,
about the
so-
series.
They use Naki's power to hop into the Mr. Mew doll because apparently that contains Sugumi's soul.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're trying to put it back into her body.
It turns out somebody sealed her soul in there, so the Sugumi you've been fighting has just been like a husk. Nobody, if you will, but
God damn it, Shiro.
okay, but so yes, basically now the whole thing is like we need to fix Mr. Mew, get him all patched up so that we can get Sugumi's soul out of there and into her actual body. And, you know, the only person who could really like fix him perfectly is Shiki, who just so happens to be arriving in town now.
So
Wow,
conveniently.
perfect timing.
It was so funny seeing like Susukichi on the phone, and then immediately after you see Shiki obscured by like the panel layout, but still like you can tell that she was on the phone. It's just like, is Susukichi calling Shiki? What the fuck is the connection? No, it's obviously not that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
speaking of which, day 6. Oh boy.
Oh boy, day 6.
Suzuki challenges you to another fight, another challenge, basically just another game of tag, and he leads you into the Shibuya River to trap you there, but it's for your safekeeping to make sure you're still alive by the time Shibuya gets inverted.
Unfortunately, though, he didn't
but-
account for a flood that was happening.
Yep.
You do still have to fight Suzukichi, who turns into a giant,
Like the silence we
Illinois,
gave
that's it.
we're losing you, we're losing. I love that
I
song.
did like that song the first time around, but it didn't really grew on me.
I
love it.
still don't like it personally, but I get why it plays.
I love hard metal.
Yeah, so you see Suzukichi, turns out to be a big softie who just wanted to like, I don't know, I just want to knock some
Big
sense into my bro. And he
Big
disappeared.
I just want
love
the old
Big Sue.
I just want the old Chiba
You know,
back.
the final day, except not really, because you know you're me like just going straight for Shiba, and you fight him, and you supposedly win, but then Kubo's like, plot twist, I'm the executor, I create the plague noise, I give you time travel powers, Rindo, so that way we can just cause the apocalypse together. Ain't that neat?
Yep, because now it creates this giant noise thing, and that each time Rindo has time travel, it's grown
I wouldn't even
stronger.
Kubo even says like, dude, I wouldn't even recommend going back in time because if you
You'll
do,
just make it
gonna
stronger
It's
again.
going even faster next time.
Yep.
Rindo's just go back in time anyway. Tries to like find whatever ways he can to like keep this from happening. Like trying to like stop it, but it still happens. Like everyone dies except for him and Kupo. And Kupo's about to destroy the whole city, but then again, giant beam of light just zaps him from existence. Like it's not even like an erase. It's like it's going to be an
like
exorcism. So
every single timeline.
Entirely.
Yeah. The memory of him is erased from every single timeline.
Yeah.
So he's just
only remembers him because of one special character who's introduced
at the very end of the game.
And unironically, it's very important to the story as a whole, and like how it even happens, how it's even set up.
This guy, Hazuki, or otherwise known as Haz. He also likes to go by a nickname, like a certain other character who likes to go by Joshua.
Can we? All right, can I? Was I the only one who looked at Hazuki the first time and thought, "Is that future Rindo?"
No,
that would have been cool.
I mean, it wasn't me, but I know it wasn't me, but I know Nico did that as well. Nico B.
Oh yeah. But okay,
anyway,
to basically summarize, Haz forces Rindo to give him a tour around Shibuya. And he's like, okay, so what if you could go back and like try it again? Would you do it? And Rindo has to make the ultimate decision, but he decides, okay, I'm gonna use this new player pin you gave me to go back in time to like that final day and save everyone for real this time. And
last
like,
chance.
Cool, man. Good luck. And then just flies away.
Yeah, and like Rindo throughout that entire day is really depressed, but then we get this awesome line where he's like, Shibuya isn't special without them. And like,
yeah, I know my heart.
Like, that line delivery was amazing.
That's like the height of his development right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like he, like throughout the rest of it, he's completely taken charge.
It's so funny how during the final boss, there's like that one bit of dialogue between Rindo and Shoka. It's like, man, you really changed Rindo, really? It's like, yeah, you're making your own decisions now. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for telling me the moral, guys.
So then,
the final day for the last time, for real this time.
The actual final day.
You've got everything set up. Ryan comes up with a plan because she's the GOAT. And it's basically just like you're using everyone's special psychs and abilities to like
reawaken Shibuya, because
to get their souls to like counteract, because the bird noise are explained to be the souls from the timelines that Rindo kind of just erased through replay.
Yeah. So basically everyone in Shibuya is now going through Shibuya syndrome.
Of the here and now people. And
yeah.
At one point, Joshua just shows up out of nowhere, just like, "Hey, mind if I help?"
No one invited me to this, so I'm just gonna watch.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, because I think how the plan works that Neku's using his ability to read souls to sort of open up everyone, and then Nagi's diving into their souls, and then Fret is reminding everyone.
Back up.
But it's a lot for Neku to handle. So then Shiki's there helping him out, and so is
explaining that Joshua shows up to like help stabilize Neku's thoughts, where it's like, really, the guy who would most be able to stabilize his thoughts is the guy who shot him.
Can I also bring up with the fact that Joshua shot him? It's just like when you meet Coco for the first time, it's like I've been with Fujuku and her for 3 years. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna forget someone who shot me.
That has made him one to forgive very easily.
They have a unique relationship.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm not gonna forget the person who shot me.
No, I just find it funny how, because of his character development from the first game, Neku has just become of somebody who is like very, very easy to forgive someone. It's like, oh, you shot me? I mean, it's okay.
I mean, that's what it was Shiki forgave Neku for, almost killing her.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, everybody's easy to forgive each other.
Yeah, and
Shiki, what she actually looks like, and she's adorable.
Along with that, we also get to see all the surviving Reapers fighting Plague Noise, and we get this really cute moment between Coco and Sho, where it's like Mini Moto.
Mini Moto.
773.
Ew.
773 point.
Ew.
Hey, don't just spout numbers and walk away, you jerk.
And the final boss is a phoenix, because
of course it is.
Yep,
it has the most blood-curdling scream you'll hear in a video game, like Jesus Christ.
Also, just like how in the first game, there's symbolism for the final boss theme. Yeah, there's also symbolism in the final boss theme for this game as well. The main theme, New Game, is technically a remix of multiple songs put together. But the final boss theme is a solo, representing how Rindo, while the
It's kind of like the inverse of Neku's kind of journey, where it's like he had to accept people. Meanwhile, Rendo's already accepted people. He just need to learn to be more independent and just be his own person.
Yes, two halves of the same whole.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
I definitely like that message, yeah. But yeah.
It was very good.
You do manage to beat the final boss. And it's explained in secret reports that the only reason you managed to even do it, the only reason it even turned into a phoenix is because Haz was just like, you know, I'll help him a bit. Just a little thank you.
That was Haz helping out a little bit.
But it's kind of ironic because the whole thing is like Haz was the one who made the decision. Hey, let's just like cleanse Shinjuku, and so sent Kubo out. But Kubo decided to be an overachiever. It's like, let's get rid of Shibuya too.
Yeah.
Yep. After they beat it,
right.
everyone just came back to life.
Celebrating, they get to go home, but Shiba's just like, oh yeah, about Shoka. Because she left the Reapers, by the time you guys leave, she's just gonna be erased. You know, that's how it works here.
Because she's not a Reaper anymore.
And but thankfully Joshua steps in and is like, hey guys, how about this? And Zoe just makes her teleport away. She's like, now go find her once you're in the RG. Okay, bye.
Also, like earlier ago, before all that, Rindo learns that Shoka was his online.
Shoka's his online friend.
Right, you're right. We forgot to mention that.
But yeah, and then we get this cute ending where Rindo is
by himself. Him and Fred have already like split up for the day. Rindo's by himself, just thinking like, man, I still haven't found Shoka. What the hell? And so they finally meet. And so it turns out the only reason they haven't found each other sooner
is because Rindo doesn't check his friend requests.
Yeah, it's like, oh my bad.
Like, I sent you friend requests in 2 places. You haven't checked either of them.
It was.
He's like, oh fuck.
I'll go 2. I love how I love when she pouts doing that.
Yeah,
it's so cute. Go 2. It's so adorable. And then we also get we also finally get the reunion for Neku and Shiki.
So good.
And it's so cute. It's
feels so good after so long.
And also Joshua offers up to give Neku his composer spot.
Yeah.
Which is like, whoa.
But Neku's just like, dude, I just want to live a normal life. Can I just go now?
I just want to spend time with my girlfriend.
I've been doing this shit for 3 years now. Like,
I just want to go home. But the reunion is so cute, and then Ryan gets hit on.
Oh yeah, Ryan gets hit on and Beat's like, not today.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of this dude. Fred becomes addicted to gacha games because of Nagi.
Yep.
Yep. The rest of the Rune Bringers decide to go and rebuild Shinjuku, and all is well.
Yep.
Yep.
And then there's another day.
Which I never got to play.
I did. It's very fun.
It's okay. It's definitely like a lot more. It's a lot shorter than the first one.
Do you want me to step out for a minute if you guys talk about it, or?
And you fight a few like super versions of bosses you've already fought before.
Yep. And then there's also the final dive, which is diving into Rhyme's mind to do stuff.
She's like needed to complete like the social chart, yeah.
Speaking of, there's a social chart in this game, which is how you get certain abilities and stuff, and you can use it to unlock like new items at shops.
Yeah, but okay, so yes, the secret boss is a show, because again, the whole thing was like hopping universes. Show is the one to do it this time, and he goes into like his, he goes into like a super version of his normal noise form. I think it's called like.
I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's very powerful. It's really hard
it's
too.
It's not like Neo-Cantus, it's like Catalay-Cantus or something.
Yeah, I think something like that. I had to abuse the ever-living...
I had to dashing all place, like causing eruptions out of the ground and all that.
I had to abuse the ever-living crap out of light element pins with HP Vampire to win that fight.
But yeah, other than that, there's not much to another day.
It is still pretty fun, and you get
secret reports. Got rushed out because like well, we gotta include another day.
Yeah. There is the secret reports, and You also learn through the secret reports the reason why Hanekoma is absent throughout the entire game is that he was straight up banned. He was straight up banned. His Twitter account got suspended.
No, he doesn't even have a Twitter account. Remember, he was just like, man, I need to ask Kyle how to use the internet.
Well, yeah, that is.
I guess we've covered everything.
Yeah.
It's a great game. Play this game too. Play the first game and then play this game now.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. That's all we had to talk about for this episode.
That's all we got.
Glad to have you on again, Axel.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Definitely won't be the last time, as I'm sure we were both aware.
We'll have you on again. Next time we talk about TWEWY, we might make this an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the last of me.
I mean, he's gonna be on my. He'll probably show up on my channel way before then, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I might be busy with school, so I don't know how many streams I can be on.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, just in general. I'm not saying it's gonna be a massive amount, but like.
That would be silly.
You get it though.
I get it. I get it.
I guess if you guys want to promote yourselves first.
I have a YouTube channel. We've already mentioned this like multiple times. I have a channel. I haven't uploaded in a while. I need to get back on that.
He's working on it.
Yes.
I have a Twitter account.
Yes. So please go follow Axel on there. Follow everybody, like the voice actor.
You may or may not regret it. You may or may not regret following me. Who knows?
And SL here.
Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel. I posted very recently. Go check out the post I made. It's a bunch of highlights from my Paper Mario playthrough. It was a really fun time. Go check it out. I've got more videos in the works.
It's really got some great edits in there. It's not just like the highlights themselves. Like the edits you put on top of them are great.
Yeah, I did more than just go screen record them and put them all into my editor. I did more stuff to it.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm also working on Resident Evil 4 highlights, and I'm working on something else. YouTube probably know what it is, but I'm not going to say what it is for anyone else. But yeah.
Alright, I think that's it.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.